Good evening, Ghana. I seem to love it. Good evening.
All right, so tonight we have a big show. Big show. Kennedy Agyapong is coming to the studio. Yes, he's coming. We're going to ask him why he wants to be president. And when I spoke to him yesterday, I told him that the only question I have for him is, why do you want to be president? That when I go into the interview, I go with only one question. However, before that, we'll go on the touch screen and show you a few things. Another survey has emerged detailing the ideas of polling station executives who are big in the MPP voting. 90 constituencies were counted, or polling station executives from 90 constituencies were interviewed. And who did they say they are likely to vote for? We'll show you that on the touch screen in a minute. Tonight, we'll show you just the executive summary. On Thursday, we'll go into some real details about it because it's also connected. And then we also have a visit to our good friend Johnson Asedun Katia, who has made some revelations. He has also explained why the parliamentary decisions were made. We think some of his explanations are very flat, so we will respond to some of them so that you know. But the song that was being played in the background, keep it low, get ready. The song that was being played in the background is one of the songs I like very well, very much, I should say. And I'm going to show you how to sing it. I'm not a great singer, as many people by now already know, but I'm going to show you how to sing it. It's an old apostolic tree song, and it's a song that expresses gratitude to God. So it says, Onyame tumfo, ohwe yen soda. Onyame tumfo, ohwe yen soda. Wataban kese, that is to say, Onyame tumfo, ohwe yen soda means that eternal God or glorious God, you always look after us. And then the continuing verses, Wataban kese no eboye ho ban. Wataban kese no boye ho ban. So that is to say, your wide wings protect us. And then it goes on the last one, Oba tampe, Oma yesreo, mayen dia ehiayen, ene ene da nina. So that says that Oba Tampa is ultimate mother. Your children are calling upon you that please give us supply our needs today and evermore. Oba Tampe, Oma yesreo, mayen dia ehiayen, ene da nina. Let's go quickly. One. And when I come, my people, my song people, when I stretch my hand to you like that, then we start again. Oba tampe, omba yesrewo, mayendia ehiaye, enene danina. That's my favorite part. Oba tampe, omba yesrewo, mayendia ehiaye, enene danina. All right, officially welcoming you tonight to Good Evening Ghana. On behalf of everyone who works here, everyone who produced this program, it is my total delight to welcome you to this edition, a new week, brand new edition of Good Evening Ghana. I'm going to show you the people who work here a little bit. Sometimes I show, sometimes I don't show. So they're going to put it on. So on behalf of all these people you are seeing now, the group that you are seeing now at the extreme end is the social media. Can you give them a close-up? The social media people, they are sitting in one side of the studio. Mikael is out there now and is leading the team. There's one social media behind the cameraman. They'll show you. She's here as well, and they're all helping us to make it happen. Let's move on to the people who. Oh, that's her. That's the lady I was talking about. She came in last week, and she's back here again, and she's wearing Joseph's coat of many colors. That's what she's wearing. All right, let's move on to the other people. Let's show the other people working. Okay, so now here is the on behalf of all of these people, these are the people at the MCR, and they're all MCR. Say hello to the camera. Let's see you. All right, so yeah, all of them. Oh, unfortunately, there's no woman in there. Oh my goodness. Maybe one of these days you have to put a woman there. There's another group that is in the situation room. They'll show them to you in a minute, and then you'll see them. So. That's the last group that we'll talk to. Those downstairs, the camera cable cannot get there. But there's another group in the situation room that we'll show to you right now. It's 25 minutes past the top of there at 9 o'clock. And this is Good Evening Ghana. Yeah, so the guest has arrived. Okay, so that's Kennedy Agyapong walking in now. So you know that he's arrived. Okay, it's good. They're going to put him in the situation room. That's Akompre Akun who has arrived at our studio. This is live on Metro TV on Good Evening Ghana. Tonight we're going to have an interesting conversation. There he is, taking his seat over there. Okay, let's come back to the studio then. Let's come back to the studio. Kennedy Agyapong has arrived. Okay, there's another. Okay, all the young people are doing something. This lady, I've been fighting with her. Come. So she's going to show us what she does. Yeah, you can. Okay, so tell us what do you do? What do you do here? Give me your papers. So the camera, I'm going to show you. Sometimes I like to do these things. So she shows me this. Camera, can you focus on this one? She shows me this one she'll show me this. That means touch screen.
My cue card. Yeah.
That's what?
My cue card.
Okay, so that's touch screen ready. Then she has another one. She shows me this, graphics ready. And then okay,
time.
so the time.
Use this in showing, giving time the pause.
So this is where we quarrel a lot because she will show me 30 minutes and is urging me that I should stop, and I say I won't stop, and then we are fighting, and then she has all the times 25 minutes and 10 minutes. Okay, thank you so much. So she's the one who cues me up and says that for this theme you have spoken for 25 minutes. On this theme you have spoken for 20 minutes. On this theme you have spoken for 30 minutes. So when we close the program and we're about to go, we meet together, myself, her, and the video editor, Tarek Mandison, and then we have sometimes we fight, don't we? And then we agree, okay. So tonight you have a big job, and you have to give me, because Kennedy Agyapong talks like I talk, so you have to really keep us in queue on all the themes. All right, good luck. Okay,
thank you.
Bandmen, you have to be alert. Oba tampe. 27 minutes past the top of the hour. Okay, so let's begin quickly. So we have two issues, MPP polling station executives issues. But let's start right now with Johnson Asiedu Nkatia. Very quickly, in 15 minutes we'll be done. Kennedy Agyapong is here. He's our big story for 2 hours. We're dealing with Asiedu Nkatia. 15 minutes we'll be done. Now, Johnson Asiedu Nkatia, we know the confusion that erupted when he sent a letter to the Speaker of Parliament indicating that changes were to be made in the NDC leadership. Well, a lot of concern expressed from party members all over the place. Now, he is speaking from London, where he accompanied President Mahama to deliver a speech at Chatham House. Johnson Asiedu Nkatia expressed his views about the matter during question and answers with his party people. First of all, he talked about consultation. Let's see that video, the video on consultation. Here's Asiedu Nkatia speaking.
And so, as a leader, I take full responsibility for the decision. And I don't want anybody to blame anybody at all for that decision. I take full responsibility for the decision, and I believe that I've done all the necessary consultation before taking that decision. And the only group we did not consult was the caucus, the parliamentary group. And it is for good reason. If the exercise was going to be done after an election, then there is nobody in charge. You are now going to look for and identify talent for the new leadership. But if you are going to take a decision which will result in the removal of leadership, how are you going to call them and say, come and help me to remove you? Nobody does that. No president consults with his cabinet about the decision to change members of the cabinet. And so it wasn't practical for you to call the leadership. Are you going to meet the caucus without the leadership you are going to change? Or you are going to meet them with the leadership? And who controls that meeting? So in such matters, you take the decision and inform them and justify that decision. And that is what precisely we have done.
Okay, so that's Johnson Asiedu Nkatia comparing himself to the elected president of Ghana who is dealing with his cabinet minister. Is that not so? All right. Now, he said that the people that he needs to do the changes on, he cannot consult them. Last week, Kwesi Pratt had a completely different view. Hear him.
You're appointing leaders for a group of people.
Yeah.
You are not appointing shepherds for sheep.
Yeah.
If you are appointing shepherds to go and look after sheep, you may not have to consult the sheep.
True.
You are appointing leaders for your parliamentarians. I don't think that it is necessary to consult them. My goodness, what is this?
So you had the answer for Johnson Asiedu Nkatia. Kwesi Pratt says that how do you elect people? The MPs, they are not, excuse me to say, they are not sheep that you are electing a shepherd. They are elected members of parliament. But Johnson Asiedu Nkatia feels that he shouldn't consult them because about them himself. And then he said that the president, can you put the president thing on, please? And then he said that the president's choice, when the president wants to do a cabinet reshuffle, he doesn't consult the ministers. So this is the point we've been making all the time. Johnson Asiedu Nkatia has completely misunderstood his role as a chairman of the party. You know why? Because he's radical and he doesn't consult. So he's misunderstood his role. He says that he wants to make changes in parliament. He doesn't need to consult them because the changes is about them. So he doesn't need to consult them. And then he likens it to the president of Ghana, any president of Ghana, who selected his ministers, and that when he wants to change ministers, he doesn't tell them. Did Johnson Asiedu Nkatia, as chairman of the party, select them parliamentarians? Is he the one who made them parliamentarians so that when he has a leadership choice, he doesn't have to tell them? Now, we put this here so that you can understand. This is the graphics, the graphical expression of Article 78 in the 1992 Constitution. Those of you who are friends with Asiedu Nkatia, go and tell him that Article 78 explains the matter better and that his understanding understanding of the relationship between a party chairman and the members of parliament and their leadership, that he is comparing it to, he's not actually comparing, he's putting it side by side with the relationship between a president and the ministers that he selects, so that when the president wants to change the ministers, he need not tell them. So this is a graphical representation of President Akufo-Addo and his ministers. So you know that deliberately we made President Akufo-Addo big and his ministers smaller, because the mandate of the ministers, the 100% of the ministers' mandate, is Akufo-Addo's mandate. That's what it is. So next president, Atta Mills, is here. These are his ministers. The mandate of Atta Mills is what he's sharing with his ministers. He, Atta Mills, is offering his ministers that. And then we put another president here. J. Kufuor is there. This is Article 78. This is the president of Ghana. These are his ministers. He appoints them. They owe their appointment to him. But here is Asiedu Nkatia, because of his ego and because he's radical and he thinks everything he's doing is correct, he has completely misread it, and he sits down comfortably, actually laughing and saying that, well, I mean, if the president wants to change me, does he tell them? So he's changing the leadership of parliament. He doesn't need to tell them. That's wrong. Very, very wrong. Now here it is, Article 78(1). Ministers of state shall be appointed by the president with the prior approval of parliament from among members of parliament or persons qualified to be elected as members of parliament, except that the majority of ministers of state shall be appointed from among members of parliament. This is the 1992 constitution. This is what makes the president appoint ministers. Johnson Asiedu Nkatia is comparing that to his role as chairman. He's the boss, and he is telling MPs that this will be your leader. You better shut up. That's what he's saying. He's saying that I'm the boss. When the president wants to reshuffle, does he consult the ministers? President doesn't have to consult ministers, because the power relation between president and minister is that the minister is carrying the president's power. The minister works on behalf of the president. All executive action in Ghana taken by ministers shall be expressed to have been taken in the name of the president. That's Article 59. Every executive action taken in Ghana shall be expressed to have been taken in the name of the president. A party chairman cannot compare himself to the role of a president in relation to his members of parliament, comparing to the relation between the president and his ministers. But that's what Asiedu Nkatia said, and that's what we told. He's radical. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't consult. He decides one way, he goes that way. All right, let's move on to the next video, because I promised to do this in 15 minutes. In the next video, Asiedu Nkatia is seen talking about the question of numbers, that he heard that they said some people signed a petition, and the people were so few. This is what he said.
And the reports about 70 MPs signing, a resolution and all that, they are not accurate at all. We heard about 70 MPs, then later we got the number reduced to 40 MPs, and eventually the press conference was attended by 25 MPs. And a lot of them, even at that event, were calling to assure me that they were there to witness what was happening, and not necessarily associating themselves with the move. And as I was leaving Accra, there were a couple of MPs who had called into media houses to dissociate themselves from the move, even though their names were in the list. And so that is that about it. NDC is not fragmented at all.
Johnson Asiedu Nkatia is telling us that the MP's so-called letter signature that people are signing is complete hogwash. That's what he says. He's saying that they started from, he's laughing at us, He said it started from 60, then they went to 40, and by the time he was traveling out of Accra to accompany President Mahama, some MPs had gone on radio to say that they just showed up. Of the 25, they just showed up. They didn't have any role to play, just showed up. He's indicating that the decision he's taking is quite popular. But here's Kwesi Pratt speaking last week, Friday, on Pan-African television.
As of last night, 95 of minority MPs had kicked against this move. How is Atufosi going to function, even if he was a magician, even if he was an economic magician? How is he going to function?
All right, so you heard Kwesi Pratt. You heard him. So Johnson Asiedu Nkatia says the thing is not working and all that. And then Kwesi Pratt, Johnson Asiedu Nkatia says that people are few. Kwesi Pratt says he has 90. I don't know. I've not spoken to any NDC MP to tell me whether he's part or not. I've not. I'm just following what's happening in the media. But this is the situation. And when I finish this, I'll show you why Johnson Asiedu Nketiah's leadership style may need some advice. I'll show you. Okay, so let's go to another video where Asiedu Nketiah now explains the decision. He said it already, but he's saying it again about getting an economic giant to lead the party. Here it is.
Every Ghanaian knows that going into 2024 elections, the key battlegrounds have already been defined, and they have to do with the economy and the finance of the country. They will have to do with the energy sector, and they will have to do with infrastructure or lack of it. And so if you are going to go into battle, you need your experts in these areas to lead the charge. And so that is what we've done. Arguably, our best person in Parliament as far as the economy and finance is concerned is Dr. Atuforsen. He used to be with you here. And so we picked him from here to Parliament, and he has not disgraced you at all. He has shown that actually he was trained in Great Britain, and he's been performing creditably well. And so he was identified as the person to lead the minority in Parliament now, and to lead the charge against MPP as far as the discussion of the economy and making proposals for better economic management are concerned. So we needed him at the forefront. And then we chose Ama Kofibua, who was also trained in the US and has been our former Minister for Energy. And so very well versed in matters concerning the energy sector. And so he's going to be he is now your deputy minority leader. And then another UK trained young man, Kwame Agboja, who was also picked from here. He has also done so well in Parliament, and he is now your new chief whip, minority chief whip.
Okay, so we heard that. He says that the decision was taken because of the issues about the economy. The other day, Randy Abe was speaking on Good Morning Ghana. He said something about elections and the economy. Have a look.
And because the next election is going to be fought on the economy, you need an economist.
Which election has not been fought on the economy?
Randy, don't kill me.
No, which election has not been fought on the economy? At least in the Fourth Republic.
But Master,
All right, I have very little to say about that. Let's move on. Johnson Asiedu Nketiah also then talked about something very, well, Kwesi Pratt described the letter as strange. I'll show you that. But I'm describing what he says as very, very strange. He says that there's no cooperation between the minority leadership in Parliament of Idrisu Haruna and Muntaka and the rest, Aveji and co. There's no cooperation between them and the Speaker. It's strange because we are surprised that Idrisu Haruna, Muntaka, those who created Alban Bagbin as Speaker. Mr. Bagbin was not thinking of being Speaker. It was Idrisu Haruna and Muntaka who decided that, look, we have an opportunity. These people may not vote for their man because of all the things we know. Let's put Bagbin in. And that's how Mr. Bagbin came in and he won. But we are being told by the party chairman right now that there's a relationship between Idrisu Haruna, Muntaka, and the leadership of the minority and the Speaker. It's not a good relationship. It has to have been told to him by either the minority leadership or the Speaker. The minority leadership is not talking to them because he said he didn't tell them to, he's not going to ask them to help him to remove them. So he didn't talk to them. He didn't consult them. That's quite clear. He's told us already. And he also didn't consult the parliament's people because when the president is changing cabinet, he doesn't tell them. All right. Now, so if it's not them, then it's the Speaker who told him. Did Mr. Bagbin tell Johnson Asiedu Nketiah that the relationship between him and the minority leadership, his own NDC people, is bad? Here's Asiedu Nketiah speaking.
My priorities in Parliament is to see our parliamentary caucus working together and also cooperating with the Speaker of Parliament. Why did we struggle to get an NDC person elected as a Speaker of Parliament? There are certainly some advantages, and those advantages can be tapped into when your leadership is cooperating with the Speaker. So we cannot have a situation where MPP leadership is cooperating with the Speaker and our NDC leadership have challenges cooperating with the Speaker. And if you are given a party whose leadership in Parliament is not working together, what will you do? You make the changes or you resign. And I'm not about to resign. Thank you very much.
That's not strange. Here's how Kwesi Pratt puts the word strange.
This letter is strange. I mean, to say the least, so very strange.
Very, very strange. Okay, now we have done 15 minutes already, I'm being told, so I have 1 minute to wrap up. Now, the analysis Johnson Asiedu Nketia made is something that I'm just about to talk about. Why is Asiedu Nketia wrong? I said I was going to tell you. Now, he's elected party chairman. We're going to find out with how many votes he's elected as party chairman of the NDC or the NPP. Now, I'm trying to explain to you, our viewers, if you buy my explanation, that the relationship between Johnson Asiedu Nketia and the members of parliament of the NDC cannot be the same between the president of Ghana, whether Mills, Akufo-Addo, Kufuor, and the cabinet ministers that he's appointed. But that's the analogy he made, which is blatantly wrong, isn't it? Now, let's look at... let's look at this. So I put this on the screen. Idrisu Haruna. Idrisu Haruna was elected by 69,267 constituents of Tamale South. And all of these persons who elected Idrisu Haruna, okay, so the second one is Idrisu Haruna was also elected as minority leader by the members of parliament at the Justice D.F. Annan Auditorium. That's what we've been told. Asiedu Nketia has explained that. He says that when the party has just finished an election, there's no existing leader because everything is changing. So that one is easy. You can bring the caucus in. But when they have a leader you want to change, you don't have to tell him because the president doesn't change people. Now, the party chairman, and I made the point here the other day, we haven't put on social media because that day my voice was bad, so I'll do it again, about why party chairman should not be elected, that they should be appointed by the presidential candidate. That's the point I'm making right now. What Asiedu Nketia has done is the ramifications of the point I was making, that if you elect a party chairman, same way as you elect a presidential candidate, irrespective of how many votes they are elected by, a party chairman like Asiedu Nketia, who has misunderstood the 1992 constitution, will govern this way. He will do these things that create problems for a political party that wants to win elections 2 years from now, that has to stop focusing on election and focus on these things. That's the kind of leader you get with Johnson Asiedu Nketia. He went to the contest and was elected by 5,569 people. Now, he says that Idrisu Haruna, who was elected to parliament by NDC people, MPP people, CPP people, we don't know who they are, they elected him. 69,267 elected Idrisu Haruna. 5,569 elected Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Asiedu Nketia says he's the boss, he can change him. Now, immediately you are creating a disjoint in the democratic context. In the democratic context, you are creating a disjoint. That is why the president is the president, because nobody got more votes than the president. In the democratic hierarchy, no one, absolutely no one, secured more votes from the people than the president of Ghana. That's why he's the boss. Now you come here and secure votes by 5,569 people. You say that Idrisu Haruna, who had 69,000 votes, you want to change him. Yes, you can change him. That you won't consult. You won't do any election. Now let's look at the average, the cumulative average of the votes garnered by members of parliament of the NDC. Now it's here. Thank you very much. So the average vote per constituency in 2020's election, as we looked at, average vote, 47,000. So the least MP, who didn't get much, got 47,000 people electing him to parliament. Then comes Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who was elected by let me call him the chairman of the NDC because I don't want to personalize it. It's not about him. It's about any chairman. A chairman of the NDC who is 5,569, he wants to change members of parliament, And he decides to change the members of parliament without consulting them because he, Asiedu Nketia, says that he's the party chairman. And he didn't need to consult them because when the president of Ghana is doing a cabinet reshuffle or any kind of appointment, the president doesn't consult them. That's what Asiedu Nketia said. So, you know, that's how he is. Let me put him back on the screen and finalize this one. I'm going to end this one right now. I think I have here Idrisu Haruna. Yes, this one. All right. So let me finalize. What am I saying here? What should Johnson Asiedu Nketia have said if he had good advice? He would have said, we have put a letter out in Parliament to the Speaker. Some people have expressed concern. National Council is dealing with it. We are prepared to make the right consultations if we forgot any. We are prepared to fix this thing and move on. Every NDC person should give us their support. We are prepared to go and face a reconciliation situation, consultation situation with the Council of Elders. Because luckily for him, Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu has issued a statement. He should just have associated himself with Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu's statement and said that, well, NDC folks, Council of Elders chairman has spoken. We put out a letter that has created a problem. We will work to resolve it. And I've called Haruna Idrisu and I've called Muntaka and we are working together. That's all he needed to say. All of these things he went to say that they are not cooperating with Speaker and that the economy is this, so somebody must lead. All of that is not that important. But anyway, it's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We don't have much time. We have a big interview coming up. That's Johnson Asiedu Nketia. We are done. Okay, our musician is here. He's going to do 30 seconds of the song that we like. We've been waiting for him. He's the reason why you had to deal with my crooked voice. Sorry. His voice is better. Unyami tunfo. Ohene soda. Wataban kesiye no. A boy a home buying. Oba tampe. Umaye fre. Please, let's get it done quickly.
Onyami tunfo. Ohene soda. Wataban kesi, no boy a won't buy. Oba tempa, okaya famu, my near a nanny then you know. Onyami tunfo, mushaya soda. Wataban kesi, no boy a won't buy. Oba tempa, okaya famu, my near a Onyami tunfo, Ohene soda. Wataban kesi, nobody will buy. Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya nani denina. Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya nani denina. Onyami tunfo, Ohene soda. Wataban kesi, nobody will buy. Oh, Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya nani denina. Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya nani denina. Ewa Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya nani denina. Abatampa, wakaya famu, maya niya
Keep it low. Last matter. Just tell him the presidential candidate's favorite song so that he'll sing it because that's next on the agenda tonight. It's Good Evening Ghana and it's live. But just before we go in, a survey has come that we're going to deal with extensively on Thursday. And here it is. This is research reports predicting the outcome of the impending MPP Delegates Conference to elect a flag bearer. It's jointly published by the Center for Sustainable African Development Initiative, CSADI, UK, and the Outcome in International Ghana. Okay, so this is what it says. Briefly, let's go through it. What are the research questions? What is the demographic makeup of the delegates? So that's a question that was asked. What is the level of support for the various viable candidates among the delegates? What will be the effects of ethnicity and religion on the chances of the viable candidate? And on what basis do delegates assess a candidate for the MPP flag bearer position? Next one, 19 constituencies from 16 regions were dealt with all over. All right, now let's move on and see what happened. Okay, there you go. So that survey pulled up these three people. Put the three back on the TV. The survey, and on Thursday, I'm going to deal with it. Kennedy is here today, so it's about Kennedy today. So we will not do too much of the survey. But this survey pulled out Alhaji Mumuni Baumia on top of the pack. And then you have Kennedy Agyapong and Alan Chermate. Let's move on and see the details so that you don't miss our program on Thursday. This is coming fully. The most preferred candidate for the MPP's flag bearer position among this group was Dr. Baumia, leading in all 16 regions. The closest contender to Dr. Baumia is Mr. Alan Chermate and Mr. Kennedy Agyapong, respectively. Okay, it is worth noting that some polling stations executives, 12.23%, indicated that they have not yet decided on whom to vote for. But that does not significantly change the outcome, it says. All right, so this is just the casual one. Polling station executives have been polled, and they are the most important people in this survey. 19 constituencies from 16 regions, and they pulled up this permutation. Alhaji Mahamadou Baumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Alan Chermate. Alhaji Mahamadou Baumia, Alan Chermate, Kennedy Agyapong. So tonight, we have an interview with Kennedy Agyapong, and perhaps we will deal with it on Thursday. Surely on Thursday, we'll be dealing with it. Come back, come to me here. On Thursday, we'll be dealing with it. Let's take the text messages right now of what people are saying. Okay. Who do we start with? Michael, are you ready? Yeah.
Great. So, Joseph Jesse, he jokes. He says, we use Sasso to spray the mosquito away. Getting back to serious matters. Farouk Teba says, the more Chairman Asediun Ketia speaks, the more he exposes his egoistic and radical behavior. The ignorance he continues to exhibit, trying to explain the humiliation he has inflicted on Haruna Muntaka leadership is unbelievable. The NDC has rejected a cool-headed Ofosu Ampofo for a notorious Asediun Ketia. He continues, JDM will suffer for these happenings come 2024 elections. Now, Alidu Umar says, Paul, what Asediun Ketia did to Honorable Haruna and Muntaka really hurt me a lot as a Muslim, because he should have considered at least one Muslim MP to be a part of the front bench. No wonder why prayers were held in Asawase constituency last week Friday in solidarity of Honorable Muntaka. Paul, let me assure Asediun Ketia that his party will lose massively in our Zongo communities come 2024, inshallah. It seems Alidu is unhappy. Okay.
People in America are sending me texts.
Okay, so Gastiman says, Asediun Ketia continues to be politically ignorant. He consistently creates comic relief, and that's what the NDC foot soldiers want, which has subsequently blinded the entire NDC. The leadership deserves it. Over to you, Paul.
All right, let me take a message from you. Do you have a message or two? Yes, let's do that. She's behind you. Yes, let's see your message.
This is from Stephen upon Efree. I'm glued to my TV. Fire. Honorable himself. This is also from Citizen Sika, Togo. Looking forward to an interesting session. And then lastly from Sena Dijan, Ken for country. Yes, so that's what I have for now.
So the last time Kennedy Agyapong came here, and who's calling me? Hello? Hello? I knew who that was. He's afraid to speak. The last time Kennedy Agyapong came here, we did actually ask him that question about whether he wants to run for president or not. And in that interview he gave us exclusively, this is what he said. Have a look at the video. Okay, the wizards have corrupted the file. We are doing it again. We'll show it to you before it ends. Kennedy Agyapong wanted a song played for him. We asked him what is his favorite gospel song. Band, please get ready. I need a good performance. So this is Kennedy Agyapong's favorite song. Okay, the favorite gospel song. Band, let it go.
Mishira na be se mininio mingete ye mi wunya minko Mishira na be mi was a mi jadi bo I am a sad I am so min peja na ben. Se min yinio, min yete. Yeah, mi unya min ko. Ishira na ben. Mi uza mi jadi bo. I am a sad, I am so. Hey, I don't see obinya ni mio. Say Diana miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Mi uza mi jadi bo. I am a sad, I am so. I don't see obinya ni mio. Say Diana miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Obinya ni mio. I am a sad, I am so. Hey, and unti min peja na ben. Say min nio. Min yete. Yeah, mi unya min ko. Mi shira na ben. You say me jani bo. I am a sad, I am so. And unti obinya ni mio. Say Diana miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Obinya ni mio. I am a sad, I am so. And unti obinya ni mio. Say Diana miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Obinya ni mio. I am a sad, I am so. Obinya ni mio. Daya miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Mi unya mi ko. I am a sad, I am so. Anunti obinya ni mio. Say Daya miswa obinya ni mio. Say Daya obinya ni mio. Obinya ni mio. I am a sad. Messi, I am a sad, I am so. I am a sad. I am a sad, I am so. I am a sad. I am a sad, I am so. Messi, I am a sad, I am so.
Keep it low, keep it low, keep it low. So the guest tonight, we met last night, you know, he's a no-nonsense man, so he doesn't accept an interview, and he wanted to see, he said, Masa, then questions now, person will be some catch me, let me hear it. And I said, oh, I have only one question for you. The question is, why do you want to be president? He said, yeah, I like that, that I can deal with. And then he told me along the line something very interesting, which I'm setting up tonight. He said, where are our patriotic songs? He wants the youth to connect to our patriotic song. So he's gotten some people to put it together. So we have put together one patriotic song for him. We'll put it for him with the montage. We'll look at it. But Honorable Kennedy, good evening, welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey, the pressure your people gave me, sorry. The pressure your people gave me today,
why?
It wasn't easy. From yesterday, midnight, your son was texting me, where is the flyer? I said, oh, the flyer will come tomorrow. Then today, text upon text and phone calls. Then at some point, your campaign manager Kwame also called and said, look, we are going to cancel the program. I said, oh, but I saw Kennedy this morning at breakfast. He said, but you are not bringing the flyer. So I know that your social media is quite effective. Why do you like the song?
You know, thank you very much for asking this question.
It doesn't matter. Just do
I like this song because it reminds me of where I'm coming from and where I've gotten to and where I will go.
I like the way you're going. So what is Obinyanime? How does it,
Yeah.
what are the words in the song that?
You know, whatever is happening in my life, I never even expected that this will happen. Somebody born in that village, actually in Wa and brought to Asin Dompim.
It's okay.
Going through hustling and everything in life. And where I am today, I think it resonates with the lady's song that is like a dream. You know, so I always listen to the words carefully and I enjoy it. It reminds me of my youthful age, my background and everything. You know, I was born and bred into a poor home. Mm-hmm. I would say into the valley, and I've crawled, getting up on top. So everything is like a dream to me. Although it's through hard work, I still feel like it's a dream. Checking my background and where I'm coming from. That's why.
Say Daisua.
Yeah, because indeed it's a dream.
Or it's reality.
Or it's
Let's
reality.
take it one more.
Mishira na be se minyinio minyete ye mi wunya minko Mishira na be you se minyani po I am a sad Misu mimpecha na be se minyinio minyete ye mi wunya minko Mishira na be you se minyani po I am a sad Anunti obinyani mio Saya Diana miswa obinyani mio Saya Daya obinyani mio Mi wunya minko I am a sad Anunti obinyani mio Saya Diana miswa obinyani mio Saya Daya obinyani mio Mi wunya minko I am a sad Anunti mimpecha na be Se minyinio Minyete Ye mi wunya minko Ishira na be You say mi jadi po I am a sad Anunti obinyani mio Saya daya na miswa obinyani mio Saya daya obinyani mio Yene jeja posi I am a sad Obinyani no Saya daya na oswa obinyani no Saya daya obinyani mio Miunya minko I am a sad Messi, I am Mr. Daya, so I am. Daya was a Daya, so
Okay, so the video that got corrupted it's ready now. Honorable Agyapong was on the show here, I think last year or so. I was wearing a strange green suit. I really like that jacket. I don't know where it is these days. And I asked him, do you want to be president? That's what he said. Honorable Agyapong has talked about if he's president, does he want to be president?
I don't.
Okay, at least you got the answer before you left. So you don't want to be president?
I don't.
There are wild rumors that you might be running for the MPP's flag bearers.
I have said that you don't need to be president to effect change in people's lives. So whatever I'm doing in my own small
But you need power. You need MP, you need minister, you need that. You can do it better if you're a minister.
I donated to 37, not
yes,
because
I was going to talk about
I'm a member of parliament.
$100,000. But you are the chairman of the security.
I donated all these PPEs, not because I'm a member of parliament. So
yes.
Get it straight. So I'm saying that you don't need only to be president to effect change in people's lives.
I understand.
Again, that also doesn't mean I'm not competent to do it.
But are you running for the MPP's flag bearership, or you don't know yet?
Who said that? I am not.
Been rumors. Okay, so let me tell you the list of the rumors. It is yourself, and Ben Efson has conducted a research on this matter. You know that. It's yourself, Alhaji Muhammadu Baumia, the vice president, Mr. Alan Chematin, the trade minister, recently added Honorable Dr. Akoto Efri Akoto, the Greek minister, Joe Gate, the former minister for railway, and now I believe Honorable Asamoah Boateng, something like that. Okay.
So I was with Asamoah Boateng. Asamoah Boateng wants to be chairman of the party.
Okay, so he has abandoned. And then Honorable Boakye Ejako, sorry, I left that out. Boakye Ejako.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the list that has been making the rounds. Are you telling us tonight that certainly you shouldn't be part of that list? You are not part of that list.
I'm not interested in things that will destroy my party.
Why would that destroy? Why would you contesting the post
because
destroy your
it's too
party?
early. we have not even finished forming government.
Forming government, yes, that's true.
And now, left and right, everybody is lobbying to be, you see, it's creating sharp division in the party.
Already?
Yes, and that is not what we need. That is not.
So you may do it, but you won't say it now.
I don't know. I'm not interested. I've told you.
But if we, your supporters,
you say what?
If we, your supporters, put pressure on you to do it, what happens?
If you put pressure
yeah,
on
we,
me,
we, your supporters, will put pressure on you to
I don't know. I don't know.
So you may do it.
I'm not keen to do anything. I only want to make
But you
a
have not been a
difference.
minister before.
Yeah,
Why do you
make a
think that you
difference.
can do presidency? You've not been a minister
Excuse me,
before.
you know how many companies I run and the people I take care
That's
of?
not being minister. That's not policy.
Now, minister, I know you kuku near mama no. Please, I use my head to create money. If I want to be president, I'll be president in style.
In style, eh? But you've never been vice. You've never been vice president before.
I will whip you good. Upe, fix the country.
Yeah.
In 2 years, what was you fixing Ghana? Straighten it.
Okay,
But
so you have all this energy. You have all this energy. You have all this commitment. Yet you don't want to run, and you are not telling us who you are supporting. Because you have supported Akufo-Addo all the way. We know that.
But I'm saying that definitely I'm going to support somebody. But it's too early, my brother.
Who are you going to support?
I won't tell you. I don't know.
Oh, but you already know. Oh, you don't know.
I don't know yet.
Should I run for it, for the MPP candidature?
Well, you are not a true party member, so I will not support you.
Obinganimyo, mi wunya minyo, I am a Messiah. Enunti obinganimyo, saya Diana Meswa, obinganimyo, saya Daya, obinganimyo, mi wunya minyo, I am a Messiah. Enunti obinganimyo, saya Daya Meswa, obinganimyo, saya Daya, obinganimyo, Honorable Agyapong, I am a Messiah. And until me she ran a pain. Send me in you.
All right.
All of them like the song.
Yeah, they like the song. But there you were saying, I don't want to be president.
Yes.
That the party has not even formed the government.
We got it.
And then they are chasing, if I want to be president, I'll do it in style. But I don't want to be president.
Yes.
That was last 2021.
Yes.
January 2023. Kennedy Agyapong is now leading the pack. Okay, hold it. I want viewers to hold it. I'll come to this answer. But let's look at the montage we made for you with the patriotic song. And let's see how it looks like. Okay.
The situation we are in, things are tough. No doubt about it. But it will promote tourism in Ghana. So let us think along those lines where we're going to make money. And not only look at the amount here and say that is a crime. When you go to Dubai, when you go to South Africa, Cape Town, when you go to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, just people, Bahamas, Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, all these countries are making money from the sea. What are we doing? Efipa ewomwa ebo epunum. I'll be like Donald Trump. I'll build a long wall, both sides, so that nobody ofrinifia na wakotu ewira no de agu odonum na odono so eteniko epunum. No, we'll prevent it and clean the whole Odo River and put boats on it.
I can't guarantee when we end the program tonight because we are now starting and it's past 10. Everybody is watching. Our social media is bursting. New York, good evening. How are you? Those of you sent me the text that you've taken a 2-hour break from work and you are on your phones and you are watching Kennedy Agyapong from America. That's how they call him. So, sir, all put together, why do you now want to be president? Why?
Okay, the answer is simple. And what I'll say, I'll quote the Bible where it says, there are times and seasons. Mm-hmm. I've always thought that I could effect change in people's life without necessarily being president. But I've come to realize that especially with the COVID and Russia-Ukraine war, I feel whatever pragmatic approach I have towards development, I should only be president so that a vision will come through and I'll be able to change the fortunes of this country. I have tried it in business fields. I employ a lot of people, but still there are many young men and women, I'll call the youth, that are not working, which clearly indicates to me that being only a businessman, I cannot help this youth enough. But indeed, if I'm president, where I can express my vision, my views to everybody, and bring the whole country together to move this country, I believe there will be a great impact where young men and women will complete school and they will have jobs. So I said to myself, look, I've taken time when I was watching whatever played over. I said that it was too early because President Akufo-Addo had just been sworn in and people were taking sizes. That I want to be this, I want to be that. I wanted to help the government to be stabilized before I will come out and make any decision or whatever. But indeed, I wasn't interested. But now I'm interested because I've seen that Ghana, successive governments have done their part. When it comes to education, for instance, you see that most of our educational structures or whatever we put in place are just theory. We need abstract thinkers. We need pragmatic solutions to our problems. So when it comes to polytechnic, when I was traveling to America, for instance, when I was going, we had polytechnics in this country. I came back and almost all the polytechnics have been turned into universities. That is a gap where you don't have the middle class technicians who can support engineers to build. Everybody calls himself engineer and sitting in the office. Whereas the base, in Germany, for instance, when you go, they call it Fachhochschule. They train these artisans and they take over every installations. As an employer, I've come to realize that most of the graduates coming out of college are doing or come out with liberal arts, human resource, accounting, management, finance. When it comes to engineering, IT, you have very few people coming out with.
What you are saying is resonating with what the education minister is saying.
Yes.
He's been talking about engineering a lot, Dr. Educhum.
Yeah, STEM.
Yes, he's been talking about
science,
a lot.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yes.
Especially with engineering and technology, we are lacking.
And maybe mathematics.
Yes. Maths, it is very easy
to... Honorable, you are asking for a structural change to our system.
Precisely.
And you have to be president to do that?
Yes. Because I've been a member of parliament for 23 years. I've served on several committees and I've made several suggestions how to change our economy. And I believe that when we use pragmatic approach, instead of reciting from chapter 1 to the end of the textbook and nothing comes out of it, we should do this, we should do that. I've made several suggestions. And because I don't hold any position, an ordinary member of parliament.
It didn't go anywhere?
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. They choose to accept it or not.
Who is the they?
I mean, the executives.
The president and his team?
No, not the president. President seldom come to parliament to engage, with the exception of State of the Nation.
You mean the ministers?
With the ministers. From Kwashiga's time, I suggested that I and my partner went to Holland with yam. We experimented it, and they realized that the starch content in yam is the same as the one in potatoes. So if they store potatoes for 8 months, they can store yam for 8 months. And ever since I went to, my first committee was a Agri committee. So I suggested this, that look, minister, this is what we can do. One of my business is storage facilities. I keep telling them that, look, why is it that Ghana imports fish to the tune of $240 million a year, whilst we have the same sea as Mauritania? Simple. The technology is simple, but we have ignored it. The technology is that you build a coastal with the blast freeze machines. What I mean by blast freeze is a lower temperature, very cold, at minus 40 degrees. When you catch the fish, you first store it in the blast freeze at minus 40 degrees. Then 24 hours, you move it into the cold room, minus 10. That meets international standards so that you can export. But my brother, when you look at our coastline, these fishermen, they don't have any cold stores with blast freeze machines that when they catch the fresh fish, they can store them. I introduced this, I said this several times. And one of the agric guys at the ministry suggested that, oh, we can smoke the fish. I said, Jesus Christ, these are the guys who are leading this nation.
Smoke fish? But
yes.
If you're exporting, you need millions of pieces. Are you going to smoke all of them?
Yeah, you know, but that was the answer that he gave me. I was shocked. I said, wow, we have a problem in this country. I had just come from America, so I didn't understand them. How can you smoke fish and go and import fresh fish into this country? All these suggestions have been made. Another example is tourism. I dared tourism to give me or sell one of the castles to me and let me show them how
to
can
do
make
it. Yeah.
money
Tourism
out of
from
it.
the castles are deplorable.
Right.
But they are very good historical.
Yeah, that we can make a lot of money.
Why didn't they give you one? Cape Coast, Elmina, Shama?
Well, you know, I don't know. I cannot speak to that.
So your decision to be president is also as a result of a bit of frustration of getting things done.
Yeah, getting things done in this country. And that is why...
But Kennedy, where you sit, I mean, you're a very powerful person. You're number 2 to Akufo-Addo's man, and you can't get things done. It may well be that maybe the things you want done are not as simple as you look at it.
You see, there is nothing simple in the world. You need to challenge yourself. And anything that you put your mind to it, you'll be able to do it. That is what I want to inculcate into the youth of this country. That sky is the limit, and therefore they should dream big. No myopic thinkers. Let's challenge ourselves. What any white man has done on earth, a black man can do it too. We've been in classrooms with white men. They were not extraordinary. But when they come out of college, because of their commitment to work, anything that they give them, they get involved, they religiously get involved and do it and get it done. But unfortunately, the black people, I don't know if it's inferiority complex or whatever, we are not able to, do things for us to compete with the white people. So I think where I am today, look, I don't want to die with my vision. And the only way to let Ghanaians know that a black man, a Ghanaian, can also do it is to vie for this presidency. And I stand for three things: patriotism, honesty, and discipline.
Okay, I'll come back to that. So the conversation is just starting, and tonight we'll be asking Kennedy Agyapong other questions. So the conversation is just starting right now. We'll be asking him about Ahmed Suale, of course. We'll ask him that question. Who is Ahmed Suale? Where is he? Why is he where he is? Does he know anything about this? We'll talk about that. Okay, we'll be asking him in terms of economic performance of Nana Akufo-Addo and Ken Ofori-Atta. Is it true that is Ukraine and Russian war, or are there other things that may have occasioned this one? We'll ask John. Did I say John Kennedy? We'll ask Kennedy that question tonight. Honorable Ohene Kennedy Agyapong is our guest. We'll be asking him questions also about sports, and he's already touched on tourism. We'll ask him about tourism. What does he think of sports? What does he think of tourism? And then we'll be talking to him about how we'll break the 8 occur, and then we'll spend a bit of time on what he thinks about President Mohammed's bid to be president again. So everything is just starting. Don't go anywhere. We have a commercial break, don't we? All right, we have a commercial break, so we take it now so that we don't lose it. And we'll be back after the break. Tell the people who were not watching that they've missed the first part, but the rest is yet to come. You've been doing something on pastors, and you said the Ghanaian youth should stop going to church, should stop listening to pastors.
I did not say that they shouldn't go to church, but I'm saying that they should limit the number of hours and days they spend chanting "Rbaba, Rbaba, 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 Rbaba."
You should limit the hours.
Yes.
So if I do that for 5 hours a week, is it too long?
Yeah, you are dumb.
If I do that 5 hours a week, how many hours should I do that?
5 hours a week.
5 hours a week. A week. 5 hours.
5 hours. Yes.
It's fine. So
5 hours.
So I did a little bit of that last night. Till this morning.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it means
the day
something.
of Pentecost.
Yes.
When we are speaking in tongues,
yeah,
would your people here even understand what you are saying?
No.
And the day of Pentecost, when they were speaking in tongues, or say even some from Arabia, could hear their language.
Yeah, sometimes you can understand.
Good. And you are using sometimes.
Yes. Because there are 2 types of tongues.
And what type of
There's
tongue?
one that is for the edification of the soul. That is preached by Apostle Paul. And there's one that is for interpretation. The one that occurred on the Pentecost day that Peter talked about is the one for interpretation, because it was prophesied, and Prophet Joel had prophesied it earlier. So it was like a public show of something. So that's the interpretation one. Beyond that, there's one that is for the edification of the soul. Because when you speak in tongues, you speak in mysteries. You speak in tongues is mysteries.
Mystery ben or speaking.
Meme tongues na mekano.
A mystery ben.
Say a mystery.
Very popular.
That's why they call it mystery. It's mystery. You speak
It's
mysteries.
mystery to you.
It will be mystery to me, but it will be for the edification of my soul.
Good. So tell us your experience with tongues now. What kind of edification of your soul near? Tell Ghanaians. You know,
Okay.
all I'm
So,
saying
yes,
is that,
religion.
my brother, I believe in God. I'm saying that anybody who says there's no God, to me, is a fool.
Yes, correct.
Okay? I believe in God. But God has created us as a superior human being over all his creations.
That's correct.
Okay? So I'll give you the parable of the talent. The parable of the talent. When the rich man was traveling and gave some talents to
5, 15, 10.
Right. When he came back, the one who said he was afraid of him and hid the money and couldn't use, he took it. That's
All right, we'll start it. We're going to do one batch of text messages before we get into the rest of the story. But I will start with the text messages, two important ones. One coming from the one of the groups in London. They say they are in Birmingham and they are watching together. They say, hang on a minute. I'm watching this show and it's very revealing how Kennedy answered the questions the first time. Okay, so in doing this, is he hurting the party now that he's contesting? Or what does it mean? University of Lincoln PhD research student is the one asking that. Maybe he didn't hear all. I'll let Kennedy answer it. But I have a revealing one from Imani Ghana's Franklin Kujo. And Franklin Kujo is also revealing something that can make a headline. He said he's never voted in 14 years. Okay, here it is. It says, I didn't realize how much of a force Kennedy was until he announced his intention to contest the flag bearership of the MPP. He makes very practically wise analysis without flowery, deceptive language. And his base and delegates can have more of him. I will be studying his bid for the highest office. He just might earn my vote after 14 years of not having voted for any politician. That's Franklin Kujo of Imani Ghana. Well, Honorable Ohene Agyapong, you are making some waves. People who have not voted before say they may vote for you. All right, Mikael, let's take one each or two each from you and then let's move on.
Yuri Joshua starting us off says, I am Kenergized. And from Kobi Kotoku, he says, good evening, Paul. Thumbs up, always on point. Honorable Ken, I really believe in him, but please ask him, are the delegates going to vote for him for us? We're ready for him, but our fear is the delegates, because I only believe his disciplinarian attitude alone can change the country. Some of us know what he can do. Thank you. Moving on.
Okay, so Ebenezer Frimpong says, going forward, all delegates of the MPP must assess vividly the capabilities of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. I believe he is built to lead the party on our mission to break the 8. He is the general populace's favorite, and I vouch for him in this race, coming from Frimpong Ebenezer, the former TESCON president of the University of Ghana. Kweku Buedu24 says, the media team of Honorable Ken should use the just shown video as a campaign tool. The interview hasn't started yet, but we can feel his passion to change Ghana for the better. Over the years, things have changed with Ken, and we know for sure that he's ready for the job. Lastly, from Ofori Kofi, Honorable Ken is a very fine gentleman, a kind-hearted man of great wisdom. I love him to the core, and I wish he would be a running mate to Dr. Bawumia, because no matter what, he is winning. Over to you, Karen.
Okay, thank you. This one is from Kweku, but he says, this man has good implications of being the president of this state due to his superior ideas and how he often makes things look very impressive. This is a question to Ken. He says, Paul, let Honorable Ken tell us how NPP could ensure fairness and transparency in the forthcoming flag bearer elections of the party. Over to you.
He's insisting that he's from Asinfosu constituency. He says, please, Paul, we are all here in Asinfosu watching. Please ask Kennedy and please let him say yes. Is Kennedy ready to be the running mate of Alhaji Bawumia if Kennedy comes second? If he doesn't want to be running mate, will he be ready to be trade or a Greek minister in future? All of those questions are coming up together with all the questions that we set up for Kennedy. Let's come to you. What do you have? Should we go Honorable Kennedy wants a pen. A pen and paper. Please get a pen and paper. Get a pen and paper. All right, they're getting a pen and paper for him. You can walk into the studio and put it on. You know, here we break the rules, so you can always walk in and give it to him. No problem. Just be on camera. It's fine. We don't worry about that. Okay, so he got his pen and paper. Exchange rates, high inflation, high interest rates, and inflation. That's a big story for right now as we are talking about individual debt bond holders. Okay, so let's continue with the questions now that he's jotted them down. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, let me come to you straight on economy. Has the Akufo-Addo government, has this economy failed after 2020?
Well, I want to be blunt. I know a lot of people will not like it, but that's the situation. To be honest with you, whatever President Akufo-Addo is going through with this Ghana's economy, I can say confidently that the whole world governments are going through the same because of Russian-Ukraine war, especially after the COVID. So I always say that if we are voting today in the whole world, 80% of sitting governments will lose. Will lose in the sense that the hardships all over the world, the citizens cannot bear it, and therefore is making every government unpopular. But I will also say that things probably, from hindsight, there are certain things we didn't do right that I think if we have done it differently, the economy would not have been this level to where we are today. Example is, I believe in practical things and creating jobs for the youth. What the program NAPCO, NAPCO, for instance, employed 100,000 graduates at 700 cedis a month, meaning 700 million a month. And 700 million, we could have established industries for these young men. You will not get 100,000 people working, but at least the sustainability would have been there, where young men and women, even if they are 20,000 out of 100, will have permanent jobs. Okay, so from 2017 to date, if NACOP was spending 700 million, you multiply it by 6, that would have been giving you about 400 and something, 4.2 billion. And my brother, 4.2 billion would have established a lot of industries here. And the ripple effect, those permanent workers, their family members, and everybody, you will see that, and taxes that we're going to get out of that. Although in the initial stages, there will be challenges because you need to build the industries. But in the long run, it would have been more beneficial than what we are going through. So I would say that, yes, by and large, there have been some mistakes that we've made that are not means worse. But the problem that every country is facing in the world, Ghana is not exceptional. And therefore, propagandas that go on every day, we have to be careful, because it did happen under President Kufuor's era, where the first 6-7 years it did marvelously well, and the world crude oil prices went up from $59 to $147 in May 2008. Then July it went to 174. Prices went up, transportation, food, and Ghanaians did not forgive MPP. That time I warned them, I said, look, if you make a mistake and vote for NDC, and within 6 months, Ghanaians were crying.
After 6 months of NDC?
Yes. So the same thing is happening. But I will not sit here and say that I'm an MPP and therefore all is well. All is not.
But let me ask you something. MPP and NDC argue about this. MPP said John Mahama is incompetent. The incompetent one, they called him. And then MPP came to power. Today, the NDC is also saying NPP is incompetent because of a particular denominator, IMF. John Mahama went to the IMF in 2013 or so. Kufuor and Kenoforiata have gone to the IMF. After they inherited IMF, exited Ghana from the IMF, they've had to go back to the IMF. So the people are saying that if you are incompetent, I'm also incompetent. What is your analysis of this NDC IMF, NPP IMF?
You see, during the time that NDC went to IMF, I think in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no global crisis or pandemic. Okay? Mm-hmm. There were no wars that affected the whole world's economy. So you could see that it was a complete mismanagement of the economy. I'm not holding brief for MPP, but at least they can lean on something and say that, look, the COVID. Let me take this opportunity. I'll be boldly and blunt and explain to you that most countries, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yes.
They didn't have jobs. They were staying home.
After COVID, during and after COVID.
Okay, some were given stipends to survive. Ghana, no worker in this country was asked to stay home.
Government workers.
Government workers.
And they were paid.
And they were paid.
Even when they couldn't go to work.
Right.
And they didn't pay water bill and light bill.
Right. You add it yourself. Mm-hmm. You know the performance of MPP during the COVID. Mm-hmm. I'm not holding brief. We've made some mistakes that we all have to accept, and I'll be the first person to accept. But when you compare the two governments, Kufuor and Mahama is not alternative to Ghana.
Why not?
Because the man has been fortunate to succeed at a most for 2 years. Mm-hmm. He has been fortunate to go one term, which is 4 years, 6 years. Mm-hmm. And we saw what happened in this country. So what is he going to tell Ghanaians again? What is Mahama going to tell Ghanaians?
He's telling Ghanaians that MPP is corrupt.
MPP is corrupt. NDC is corrupt. That is why you have Agyapong coming in.
Agyapong is MPP.
I'm a disciplined MPP.
But how do we believe? How do we believe? And this is a rhetorical question. Forgive me, I'm doing a devil's advocate. How do we believe that Agyapong is not corrupt when you are so rich? In Ghana, you are rich, you are a thief.
You see, I work hard. I was hawking on the street. I was born into a poor home. Like I said earlier.
We hear these stories all the time.
Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Born into a poor home, hawking on the street, washing plates in Germany, driving taxi in America, establishing business, and today I'm here. I have something to show for, and that is unique. Unfortunately, in this country, you consider or perceive every businessman to be criminal.
Yes, because he's given a minister bribe before. Most businessmen.
Well, I don't give bribes.
Have you given money to anybody who gave you a contract or something like
that?
Yeah,
after everything, Christmas, maybe I'll give you something. Yes, fine. But I don't go and entice
that take this and give me the contract.
Take this and give me. You can check from everywhere. I won't do it.
Is there corruption in Ghana?
Corruption everywhere in the world.
Are you corrupt?
I'm not. Let me give you one example. I met an Indian last week, and he said there's a project that he thinks I can influence. The actual cost of the project, the estimate that they've given them, is 26 million. Okay? The guy comes to say that he can do it for 9. The actual cost is 9, but of course, as a businessman, he has to make profit with whoever introduced them, 3 million, making 12. Then he said to me, I'm going to give you 3 million. So I'm going to, excuse me, I will add it to the 12 to make 15. And I said no to him. It's Ghana first. I don't want the 3 million. If you know you can do the job for 12 million, so be it. The young man that came from America with their ticket and everything, whatever you want to do for them, yes. But me, I won't take any money. And the Indian man was there with his young engineer son who is an engineer. He said, wow, I have goose pimples. I've worked in Africa for 22 years. I have never seen a black man reject $3 million like you.
Why did you reject it?
I reject it because if you know the actual cost is 9 and you want to inflate it to 15 and give me 3 million at the expense of the poor people that have no good education, no drinking water, hell no. Joy FM did well last week by showing a school somewhere in the north, Pandai or so, kids that are lying on the floor. And I will go and take $3 million. No, I won't do it. Ghana first.
Have you not done a government contract yourself before?
I've
executed
executed several contracts.
Did you add any money?
Yeah, of course, as a businessman.
For yourself?
Yeah, for myself. Yeah, I'm the.
Why did you add? You are a patriotic Ghanaian.
But if you are patriotic, it doesn't mean I'm investing, say, $20 million in a project.
Then you get $20 million back.
How do you get $20 million
back? Yeah, so that's
then how would your business stay? You see, what you need is the $20 million with everything, taxes and everything. Your margin should not be more than 30%.
Of the 20 million?
Yeah. So after paying, say, 15% taxes and everything, if your profit margin is 15%, you stay in business. And that's my principle. I will not go for a soldier came to me just this evening before coming here, and he's telling me a story why he's being removed from his position because they bring a figure and the actual amount is 10, they increase it to 200, and he challenges them. Now he has a problem. See, that is corruption.
Yeah.
And that is what I stand for.
So the money that is shared before the business is the corruption. The one that is shared after the business is okay?
No, the margin too.
Oh, the margin?
Yes.
So you share it after the business, make sure the margin is not more than 30%?
Yes. But if you know it's 200 and you go there, increase it to 500, my brother, that is not fair.
So if I do a government contract, I execute a government contract of 500 cedis, I am allowed to benefit 30% of the 500 cedis.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
Okay. So
and that includes all the taxes you are going to pay.
Everything. So that I can stay in business.
Right. So that you can stay in business.
I see. Okay. You are still on Good Evening Ghana and it's live. We've just been doing the economy and we did the IMF questions that had. Okay. So if Ghanaians were voting, why should John Mahama not be an option?
The fear of John Mahama coming to power is that, one, John Mahama has not proven himself to be a good leader because he failed this country. So giving him another opportunity, like when, when he went out of power, he was going around now telling people that he has learned his lesson. This man, from his track record, he needs only one term, 4 years. Even when he knew that if he manages the economy well, he will have another term opportunity, that he could not even do it. Now that he has only one term, God knows what this man is coming to do, if it is not greed. So I'm scared for Ghanaians that alternative is not good for us, especially this message goes to MPP, that the alternative is not good for Ghana. And therefore, we have to be careful. And whatever decision we are going to take, we'll make sure we think of the country first. There are challenges, not might. There are challenges.
If the MDC didn't have John Mahama, but they had another candidate, it could be anyone, Spilgar Brad, Dr. Dufour, Guzitan, or Kwesi Ahoy, would it make a difference?
Yeah, they stand a better chance than Mahama.
They stand a better chance with an unknown candidate?
Yes.
Who has not been president before?
Yes.
With President Mahama?
Yes.
In the minds of ordinary people?
Yeah.
Will people not be so frustrated with MPP and say that, to hell with these people, just anybody at all, anyone at all? So then John Mahama gets a collateral benefit from that.
Yeah, you are on point. is very, very true. That is why I'm cautioning my party people that, well, we have 2 years to make a difference again in society in terms of development. If we are able to do it, I think Ghanaians will give us another chance.
To break the 8?
Yeah, but you know, with me, we'll break the 8.
With another candidate?
With Agyapong.
Without Agyapong, can we break the 8?
Without Agyapong, well, it will be tough.
When you say with Agyapong, do you mean Agyapong as number 1 on the ticket or number 2 on the ticket?
Agyapong number 1 on the ticket, you can break the 8.
Agyapong number 2 on the ticket?
But, tough.
All right, this is still Good Evening Ghana, and my lady, I'm doing these interruptions for you so you understand that we ended another part over there. We ended the John Mahama question. That's what we just ended. Now this is getting interesting. Okay, Agyapong says that he is the one to break the 8 for the NPP. What's the time now? Okay, it's 15, less than 15 minutes to the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. Okay. Now let's go to the question about how he's going to solve that problem. From the text message, somebody asked, exchange rates, high inflation. I don't know whether he's going to say that his economic policies will solve it, but there's exchange rates issue, high inflation, and then high interest rate. Okay. Are you concerned about this? I've heard you talk about losing money recently when the dollar crashed.
I'm very, very much concerned about
this. As president, are you thinking about that?
Yes, of course.
How are you going to achieve that?
First of all, I'm a businessman. Just this morning, I was watching TV, UTV, and it was announced that they have increased, Bank of Ghana has increased the policy rate by 1%, 100 basis points, from 27% to 28%. That is ridiculous.
Why?
My brother, in this world, you see, most of industries that are companies that are succeeding in this country are owned by foreigners. Why? The answer is that these foreigners take loans from their country at low rates as 5% to 7%. And they come here. Now, a local businessman like myself going for a loan to compete with an Indian company that produces this bottle of water. And I'm also going to produce this bottle of water. The Indian company came in with an interest.
From India Exim?
Right, wherever he comes from, with 5% interest on his loan. Now, if Ghana, the base rate is 28, the banks, the commercial banks, is hovering around
30-something.
40.
Oh, it's already at 40?
Yes. Meanwhile, it should have been +2 or -2.
Of the base, yes.
Of the base. But no system is working.
They don't trust the city.
So everybody is giving any price that he wants. And interest rate is about 40. So how on earth am I going to compete with a company that took a loan with interest of 5% and I took a loan with interest of 42%? Whose product? These two examples here, although they are different shapes, it's the same water.
Yeah, same water.
If an Indian is producing this at 10 cedis and I'm producing this at 15, whose product will move faster?
The Indian will move faster.
Fine.
So, yeah, but can Bank of Ghana isolate the people who are borrowing for industry purposes? Not everyone borrowing is borrowing for industry purposes.
I don't know.
Maybe they should do that in terms of policy, that if you are borrowing strictly for industry purposes, it will be cheaper than borrowing for other things, consumption and other things.
Thank you for coming to that. I have an idea called the Asia Miracle. And the Asia Miracle is simple. If you really want to improve this economy, let's adapt the Asia Miracles. Check Korea and see. What they did was that, look, I know gentleman A is into this industry, but he has financial constraint to expand his business. The government comes to you and said that, look, if you want to produce this water, you are doing 10, we want you to do 1,000. What can we do for you? So we need equipment A, B, C. Korean government will not give you the money directly, but they will send it to the source, the manufacturer, and pay for it. What the agreement they have with you is, he said within a year, you'll be able to finish the factory. The first 4 months or 6 months that you promised that the equipment will be in, the date that you gave them, when you have, say, 28, you gave the date 28, on the 30th of January, they are there to check if the equipment have arrived. They'll give you warning if it is not. The second time, they'll give you warning. The third time, they take over the factory or the company and give it to another person.
But it will continue the production?
Yes.
Okay.
Another person.
To do it?
To do it. By so doing, they were able to help their businesses to improve.
Indigenous business?
Yeah. And now, they are very, very competitive. When you look at Hyundai and all those...
but it's not the same that Alan Chamartin has been doing, one district, one factory. It's not the same they did with the Kumfi Jews. It's not the same thing. Government gave them funding. And now the Kumfi is exporting.
You see, what is happening? One district, one factory. Perfect. No doubt about it. But now, even today, my steel plant, I had to pay 2,150,000 to clear it because they've removed the exemption. And the furnace just arrived. And I had to pay 2,160,000. One, the exchange rate was, I say exchange, sorry, forgive me. When the waiver was there, I would have paid maybe 160.
Now the waiver has been cancelled.
Right, cancelled. So it shows the importance of the one district, one factory program. Now I'm confident. Assuming I don't have that money, the equipment will be sitting at the port. The mortgage will occur.
So you think one district, one factory you will keep?
Yeah.
You will keep that policy?
Perfect. Perfect. But what we have to do to the one district, one factory is that anybody gets up with a dream that President Kufuor says that one district, one factory. So I have a business plan. And from A to Z, he wants the government to fund it. I will do it. Show me the idea you have, the experience you have for government to give you so much money to go and do whatever you want to do. It's important. Because without experience, if you go to Small Business Administration in America, they ask all these questions. If you don't have any experience, I know what I'm talking about because a man has been coming to me severally to go to Exim Bank and speak to the boss and all those things. And whatever they gave him, he's still asking for capital. That, I'm afraid, won't work. What will work? I use a young man in my village that he was into poultry, or he's still into poultry, and he was producing 70 crates a day. He requested $1 million from Exim Bank, and Exim Bank gave him 1 million cedis. Today, this boy, every day, produces 560.
From
crates.
70?
Yeah, from 70. Asimfusu. Go there. It's there. And anytime he brings me eggs, you open it, and it has 2 yolks in it. I don't know how he does it.
I see.
Yes. 1 million. Such a boy, that is the Asia miracle. We need to help him expand. Okay? Not that one district, one factory, everybody comes, oh, I have my business plan. Then the whole government has to give you every peswa. Anything that you do not work hard for it, your heart is not there, the commitment is not there, because the money is not yours. If you sweat and make money, you value it, you appreciate it. So if you go for a loan or government gives you assistance, you will not put it at the back of your mind that, oh, the money is not mine, so I'm going to spend it. So these are some of the approaches that I'm going to use. Let's talk about exchange rate. Exchange rate, whether we like it or not, what we need in this country is simple. This is what I call Asindompim LA Middle School economics. Let our export exceed import.
So everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. You see, I believe in pragmatic solutions. You know that. You have a nice suit this evening. You are importing rice.
Yes.
About $300 million a year.
Tomatoes.
When we have arable lands from Atebubu or Mampong, Ejura, all the way to Pusiga and Paga.
That will take some time, wouldn't it? Because your competitor, Uzofri Akoto, says that for the last, since 2017, he has stopped the importation of maize because he's producing maize. Have you heard that?
If you stop importation of maize, it means what? Do you export maize?
At least we don't import.
Yeah, I have a problem. You see, you have to dream big. I have said several times that I will use the 5 northern regions, Afram Place, Accra Place, to feed the whole Africa. Even my team sometimes disagree with me.
Why do you need to be president to do that?
Yeah, because as I speak, we have myself and my partner, we have farms at Atebubu Amantin. We've acquired 125,000 acres. We've cleared 30,000 acres. And we have a starch plant ready. And we have 960 people working. See, I made a statement some time ago and people were being diabolic, saying that I said that anybody who lives in Accra and says that he has made money in Accra and is going to go into farming is a fool. Because that agrarian style of farming, you lose your money. I also disagree that the minister was saying that graduates coming from university should go into farming. What type of farming? What inputs are you giving them? Okay? So if 44 years ago when my brother-in-law married my cousin because he had 2 acres, today still when you go to Asin-Dompem, 2 acres. That is why when you go to Cote d'Ivoire, a population of 21 million against 30 or 31 million in Ghana here, they produce over 2 million tons of cocoa, and Ghana is struggling to produce 800,000 tons. Why? It is because of agrarian style. The minister might have done well, but I have a problem. The problem is he did not think of long term. Because irrigation, we need irrigation. If you want to go into mechanized farming, first thing is irrigation, especially in the north this season. Look, I went there.
One village, one dam by Dr. Baumia.
Is doing very well.
Is it?
Yes. I was from Wa to Sola, Kaba, and I saw these village dams over there.
It's doing well?
It's doing well.
One village, one dam is working?
Yes, I've seen it. I won't lie. Not that I'm competing with them and therefore I'll come and... No, it's working.
So we should congratulate Alhaji Baumia for that?
I don't have a problem with that.
Will you congratulate him?
Yeah, why
that?
not?
Can you say it?
If he's the one who brought one village, one dam. But honestly, this is the first time you're telling me. Because I know how Akumsin was the one who was doing it. So no problem. But if it's him, we give him credit. Okay. Why not? What I don't like about it, they are making propaganda that one district, one village, one dam is not working. I saw it. I went to Northeast and Naregu, I saw it. It's working. The problem we have is, you see, the difference between me and any other candidate is that the theory is too much.
With the other candidates?
Yes, I believe in pragmatism. You have done this. You have one village, one dam. No irrigation, no farms around those dams. You see them just fetching water.
To go and use at home?
Yes, that's it. So what have you done? Use this to irrigate the land, especially this season. So that in South Africa, when I think Johannesburg to Koro or whatever, you see the land. And the Ghanaian guys were telling me that 365 days, there's no shortage of corn or maize.
In South Africa?
Yes. And we can do same here with these dams and irrigation. So anybody who says that Ghana is poor, I don't believe. Ghana, we are not poor. If we are poor, let's ask ourselves a question, why foreigners have come to take over this economy? Why would they take a loan from their country, and bring it into this country and make money. We are not poor, but our direction is completely wrong. And we don't blame only government. The individuals, as Ghanaians, if we want to improve this economy, we have to change the mindset of Ghanaians. That is why I said we should play that heroic songs to conscientize Ghanaians to take their destiny into their own hands, believe in themselves. That is the way to move this country.
If the young people see that one of the quickest ways to be rich is to be politician. So you start from university, you are teen and you are TESCON and all that. And before they see the guy they went to classroom with, his deputy minister, he's got Land Cruiser, he's got this, that, he's got that and all of that.
Have you also
if they see that, they feel that the political class is cheating them.
Wow.
And recently we've had some sort of revolution on social media calling on the middle class to rise up and all of that because they feel the political class is cheating them.
You know,
how do you see that?
Well, they have every right to be angry, no doubt about it. But what I want to tell them is that whatever is happening today, anybody who did not work hard for his wealth will definitely lose it one day. It's short-lived.
What should they do with that advice? Is that an advice? Is it a question?
Yeah, advice meaning
they think people have cheated them.
They're
saying they shouldn't worry. Those
hold on. You see, I have mentioned to you that I was hawking on the street. Yes, pick a chocolate, Tatra, Nazet, yes, raw.
You did that?
Yes,
in Kumasi or Accra?
Accra here. Up to secondary form 3.
So when you were decided form 1, you were doing
yes,
that?
I was hawking on the street. Yes, pick a chocolate, Tatra, Nazet, yes, raw. But with
no, you know how to say it. Say it again, yes.
Yeah, yes, pick a chocolate, Tatra, Nazet, yes, Rob.
What
yes.
is Nazareth?
It's a blade, a type of blade with a crocodile.
So PK, chocolate.
Tatra,
blade.
Tatra, blade. And Nazareth, blade.
Nazareth, blade.
Yeah, and Rob.
Yeah, Rob. So
right.
PK, chocolate, that.
Yes, PK, chocolate, Tatra, Nazareth, yes, Rob.
Okay, that's good for a TikTok video. Let's do it again. PK what? Yeah. PK.
Yes, PK, chocolate, Tatra, Nazareth, yes, Rob.
Okay, we have the video.
You see?
Thank you very much.
So if now this underdog with persistency, hard work, perseverance, now that is why I love that song. I am said that song. Okay, from my background, where I'm coming from, and today you are interviewing me as one of the aspirants. That alone is an achievement. So I stand for hope.
Yes.
Hope for the youth. And every hope needs action.
Every hope needs action.
Yeah, every hope needs action. Hope needs action. And today, the current situation we are in, we don't need change. Change needs us.
Hey, these are heavy.
Good.
Hope needs action. The current situation we have, we don't need change. The change needs us. What's the meaning of change needs us?
Yes, because whatever we are doing, the situation is bad. That it is not you that need the change, the word change. The word change itself
is looking for you.
Is looking for you.
Wow.
Yes.
That we have to dramatically change.
Yes.
From where we are to 360 degrees.
Yes, and that is what I stand for.
That's Kennedy Agyapong can do that.
Yes. And ideas needs spark.
Ideas need spark.
Yes.
Wow.
Ideas needs spark. Hope needs what?
Action.
Action. Right.
Where is the action in your hope that you're offering? Where is it?
My action.
Which is what?
In the
employing
hope is,
people?
When you look at me, that poor boy from Asindompem today has over 7,000 workers. When you look at me, it gives you hope that look.
Well, but do we have to go to America to become like Ohene Agyapong from Asindompem?
Look,
because you went to America. That's where the thing changed.
It does not mean no. Where the change came from hawking on the street here.
But you went to America.
Yeah, I went to America. When you know how many people that went to America?
There are a lot of them.
Right. But you see, I started this. I always said to myself that no matter what, I'm going to be rich one day. So when I was driving taxi, It took me 7 months to own 8 taxis because every month I saved $3,000, went to auction and bought a car and gave it to somebody to drive for $40 a day. It's me. So it is not only America. I worked so hard in Germany. So it's you, the individual. You should be determined that you're going to succeed in life.
Oh, you stayed in Germany as well?
Yes.
Before America or after America?
Before America.
Oh, Germany first, then America?
Yeah, Germany first before America.
Were you in Nuremberg?
Hamburg.
Oh, you're in Hamburg?
Yes, and Bad Orislo.
I don't know that one.
After Ahrensburg, when we are going to Lübeck.
So you speak a bit of German?
And Kiel. A little.
Guten Tag, guten Morgen.
Wie geht's?
Oui.
No. I said wie geht means how are you?
How are you?
Then you say good.
Oh, I see. Good. Okay. All right, this is still Good Evening Ghana. We are getting into the home stretch right now. Kennedy Agyapong has been saying a lot of things. Hope needs action, ideas need spark, and all the things he told us. Now we are going to, do we have a commercial break, my lady? They'll
I
check.
say change needs you.
Change needs you.
Yeah.
Hope needs action. Ideas need a spark.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a commercial break? We do.
So,
Okay.
so Ghana, change needs us.
All right, and that's Kennedy Agyapong.
Yes.
All right, so I'll take the commercial break. When we come back, I'll ask him questions about Ahmed Swale. What is the story with that? And then I'll ask him questions about, then we'll get to the gossip question. Did he tell President Akufo-Addo that he wants to run? What did President Akufo-Addo say? Has he told President Kufuor whether he's running, and what did he say, and all of that? Okay, the commercial break is not ready, so we go straight to the questions right now. Please, your text messages, start isolating them. I'll come to you. I'm sure we have a whole lot. Social media is buzzing. Thank you very much, social media, for your patronage. Who is Ahmed Swale?
Well, you tell me. You brought the question up.
Well, Ahmed Swale is a journalist we know. I never met him. He works for Tiger Eye.
Right.
He's an investigative journalist, undercover investigative journalist. It is reported that you, Kennedy Agyapong, put out Ahmed Swale's photographs to the world and even threatened that you will attack him if you found him.
You see,
weeks later, Ahmed Swale was killed by gunmen.
You see,
up till today, the police is yet to find out who killed the famous journalist.
You see, you are a seasoned journalist. So please kindly don't distort information.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he said within 2 weeks.
No, within weeks.
Within weeks.
Of
Check how many weeks.
I don't know.
Good. Please find out.
Okay.
And 2, don't say that Ahmed Swale was undercover journalist.
Wasn't he?
No. It means you don't even have analysis videos.
I've seen them.
Yeah. Did you see Ahmed Swale's face covered?
I don't know him. But which role did he play?
Right. Ahmed Swale was the one who was actually sitting by this fake attorney guy.
Oh, the interpreter of sorts.
Right. He sits there.
Oh, yeah, I know him. He's not that tall.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's Swale.
That's Swale. Did you see his face
No,
covered?
his face was there.
No.
I saw him.
So don't use that word.
But if his face was not covered, why did you find the need to show his photograph?
Because most of the Ghanaians didn't know him.
So why were you showing it to them?
I was showing it because if a man comes to you and say that, take this, it's a gift. Let's use Kwesi Nyantakyi, for example. Kwesi Nyantakyi was invited 3 consecutive times to Dubai. The first one, he went with the Liberian president.
Oh, George Weah?
Yes.
Oh, you're serious?
Yes. They stayed in a hotel. Anas and his group did not show up. Kwesi Nyantakyi threatens to sue them.
Are you? I'm getting confused.
Yes.
Kwesi Nyantakyi went to Dubai on their invitation about the sponsorship of the league.
Yes.
Okay.
He went there with Opongwea.
What was Opongwea doing there?
Well, he was contesting.
For presidency?
Right.
So what was he doing there?
They are going there thinking, well, the way they portray Sheikh Atani and the rest.
He has money.
Yeah, he has money. So Kwesi went with him.
To raise funding for George Weah?
Right. And he didn't show up.
Did he show up at all?
No. So he was threatening to go and see them, sue them. That was the first time Anas introduced himself, pleading with Kwesi Nyantakyi.
Oh,
that though.
Yeah. Himself as Anas?
Yes. That oh.
So Kwesi saw him?
Yeah.
I mean, they spoke?
Yeah, so this is, my boys, this and that. I'm sorry, you're going to So you saw the video that they were sitting there. Anas was not there. Ameswale was there. So to show his face, and let me clear this air. When I showed the video on Net 2, my workers came to the studio and told me, Honorable, they asked the question, don't you know this guy? I said, no. I said, oh, but he was one of the guys you paid his school fees. I said, I don't remember. Because I always pay people's school fees. He said, he came here, he said he was going to university, you gave him 1,500. I said, I don't remember. And he said, oh, he has been coming here. And I said, please, he's very dangerous. Don't allow him to come here. He will set us up. So when he comes, beat him up. Throw him out of the place.
Beat him up?
Yes, this is what I said. I will not lie to you.
But that's not a bad word. Like, that's not a good word, sorry.
Right. But you see, judges who have died, judges who have been sacked from their job, custom officers with Anasa style, I have a problem with that. Because it's complete entrapment.
Oh, those judges who, yeah.
Yes, complete entrapment. So to show somebody's face and say that you are coming to trap me, and you are using that word fairness, is he also fair to all those people?
But then he was murdered, which is also very bad.
You see, Ghana media, with all due respect to you, you also have a problem. The problem is, when an incident happens like this, you sensationalize it, and attention is taken away from the corporates. First of all, let me ask a few questions. Security-wise, I ask, at what time did Anas hear that Ameswale has been murdered? At what time did Anas put on social media that Ameswale has been murdered? Had he visited Ameswale's family even to see the dead body? At what time did Anas get the chance to call the Atlanta, Georgia senator and complain that I have killed? You see, all these questions I'm asking, journalists did not even listen, because that time you perceived Anas as thank God, and therefore you didn't give anybody benefit of the doubt.
But what's the significance of these questions you're asking?
The significance of these questions is that if you are doing investigations, go and watch ID. Family, husband and wife. If they come and the wife is murdered, the first suspect is the husband. If a husband is murdered, the first suspect is the wife. Okay? Then they begin to extend it to the close associates. All these things were not done. And because I showed his pictures, you are accusing me. Get it straight. You don't know. Now let me tell you. Anas reported me to U.S. government. When I got to Houston, they stopped me for about 7 hours. Okay? They did their investigation, everything. They said, go. Okay? Now, I believe in police. Here. Competent police. All these investigations that they've done, nothing pointed to Agyapong. Are you saying they are not competent? What I will do if I'm president, I will encourage the police, the security agencies, to go and investigate it to the bottom, okay, to get the actual culprit.
But you are suspicious that Anas himself may be part of it?
Yeah, because of his reaction. Because he didn't show remorse, anything. Somebody, your I don't know the
confident
word. I wouldn't say confident. I wouldn't say that. But you let me reserve the word.
It's a very touchy and emotional issue. So let's let's move on. Let's move on to the gossip part. Or shall I take some text message from you? Oh, you have something to say. It looks like you want to add something to this Swale conversation. I'm ending it here.
No, I wanted to tell you that if I'm elected today, whether the case is dead or not, I will bring it back again.
So that we can find the murderers.
Yes, so that we can find it.
Whilst the way, because of the last thing you said, I need to extend this conversation because another matter in which your name is also mentioned, I don't know whether it's related, I think it's unrelated, is J.B. Dankwa's murder. There again, they have said that you were the first person to arrive there.
Who was the first person to arrive there? What about the police? When I went there, I saw the wife's sister,
yes,
who was my clerk, the communications committee.
From Parliament, yes.
I saw police officers there in the house. I saw JB's brother also there. There are 3 police officers who always patrol around my area in East Legon. First call, around 4:30 a.m., I was complaining, at this hour, who is calling me? Apparently, he was on the line. Then he said, oh, Honorable, one of your colleagues has been murdered. I'm saying, who? Then he said, JB. So I asked, where does he live? Then he gave me direction.
Oh, he didn't know where he lives?
No, I didn't know. So they gave me direction to the place.
Oh, that's how you showed up there?
Yes. Yeah, they gave me direction. My wife is a witness. I was there with them when they called me. And the police officers are still here. You know, so how come? And first of all, JB was not a close friend, but we are colleagues in Parliament. I had nothing against him. So what will happen? Why will I do such a thing? And let me tell you, I have that human touch. I don't have time to go and kill human beings. What would I gain from that? What would I gain, my brother? How long
so
am
as
I
president, we demand from you resolution of 2 murders. You say that you're going to resolve Ahmed Swale's murder,
yes,
and J.B. Dankwa's murder.
Yes.
You resolve it as president.
Yes.
What power will you have to do it?
You see, the problem is, if the president shows interest, the police will work, and I will show interest. I will show interest because it's me that have been accused. So it's important to exonerate myself, come out with the truth. That is all.
Okay. When I interviewed Alan Shermartin last week here, he said that whereas it's a new thing, there's a novel thing for the MPP to want to break the 8, it is also new for John Mahama, who wants to return as former president. Right. And so much as the MPP needs to do a lot of work to be able to change the status quo and break the 8, John Dramani Mahama must also do a huge amount of work to convince Ghanaians that a former president can be re-elected. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Because, you see, the cycle is such that every 8 years, at least what we know, we change governments. So, MPP admitting that we should break the 8 means that our back is on the wall.
Yes.
Because of the 8 years. But this time we want to make a record. Instead of 8, we'll go to 12. Okay? So, because we want to break the 8, there are certain things we have to do. And I think I just read something here that Ken Ufuriata now is saying that the private bonds will not be touched.
Yeah.
We thank God. If not, we are going to lose miserably.
The election?
Yes.
On the individual bondholders?
Yes. Yes. We're going to lose miserably. It's good he has made a U-turn. You see, so with what is going on in the world, it doesn't favor MPP. But the unfortunate thing for NDC is also that they've been in power before and they were not good managers. That is why you need a businessman now. And that is Agyapong for you. You need a selfless leader. You need a leader who cares about the future of the country. You need a leader who places Ghana first. And these guys, or these gentlemen, I will stand tall because I will show all my track record, what I've done for this country as a member of parliament and not a minister. Not even a minister. What I've done, my record will speak for me.
Somebody was asking when we put out this earlier today that, that was a question on Alan Martin talking about John Mahama needs to break something. Alan Martin, that has ended now. Somebody said that Kennedy is great. He's very well exposed, and so he's marking you and the other candidates. Exposure, Kennedy tops everyone. Articulates, carrying the narrative, Kennedy tops everyone. And then he says that wealth, perhaps of individual wealth of all the candidates, most likely Kennedy is the richest among them. On policy, Kennedy is not first, he's not second, he's not third. Policy.
Has he ever given me a chance, or has he heard what I'm going to do?
Well, what you're going to do is the future, but in terms of record of policy.
Which
policy have you? You have not been a minister before. You've not been a deputy. You can't say that as Minister of Agric I did this. Also, if says as Minister of Agric from 2017, I've stopped the importation of
Don't forget, I've been.
Alan Martin says as Minister, one district, one factory, PSI. Agyapong says presidential spokesperson, I did that. Joe Garte says railway minister, attorney general, I did that. Kennedy Agyapong can't say anything.
I can say a lot. First of all, for being a member of parliament for 6 consecutive terms, it's a great achievement. Coming from NDC constituency.
Oh, that was NDC before?
Yes.
You were the first to win for NDC? And you've held it for 6 terms?
Held it for 6 consecutive terms.
Oh, that's clearly flipping a constituency to the MPP. Clearly.
Right.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm the chairman of Defense and Interior Committee. I've been the chairman of Local Government Committee. I've been a chairman of Communication Committee. Go and ask all members of this committee my performance. Yes, go and ask. And again, the person is talking of wealth. It's not wealth that we're talking about here. The employment that I have created in this country. None of the candidates, MPP, NDC, none of the candidates. When they come, ask them, how many of the candidates from NPP and NDC have employed even 1,000 workers? And do you think you need, what, a professor to create jobs? That is why I'm saying that I believe in conceptual thinking.
But as president, there's a lot more for you to do, not just this. The president's desk is full. You see how big the table is?
The
full.
table.
You're doing ECOWAS, you're doing foreign affairs, you're doing Africa, you're doing continental free trade. I'm going to ask you about that.
We need very easy to run this country. One policy of mine will change everything.
Which is?
Discipline. Discipline will change this country. Law and order. That is all we need. We don't need professor whatever.
So discipline from the top?
Everywhere. Every Ghanaian has to be disciplined. You see, you are talking of the top. Yes, it starts from the top. I will discipline myself. And therefore, it will be easier for me to check my ministers. It will be easier for the ministers to check their directors because they know what the president stands for.
Okay, I have a set of questions for you. I'll take the text messages before then, but let me just ask you, will you make more money as president?
At this point in my life, I don't need to make money. I want to make a difference in society. I've said it before, I'm saying it again, that if I'm elected as president, the presidential salary and whatever money I'm going to make, I'll put it in an escrow and set up a presidential scholarship and touch every constituency with my salary. Every constituency, a child will be given scholarship to go to university.
On the president's salary?
On the president's
275 constituencies?
Yes.
You won't finish that. 12, how many, 4 years, how many months?
Let me tell you.
12 times 4,
let
48?
Let me tell you. If I make 100,000
cedis per month?
Hypothetically.
On all your everything?
Right, on all everything, 100,000. In 12 months, it's 1.2 million. 1.2 million, 275 constituencies. Every child will get 3,000. Do your calculation.
Yeah, you can do that. That works.
Yeah.
That works.
So 275 constituencies. I'll give 3,000 cedis.
Will you be interested in government contracts? Will you, if I come to you, you are president, I say, I come Kennedy, the Ministry of Communication is doing a big 5G project. I have some partners. Can you talk to the minister for me? Will you do that?
You see, you have to put your documents,
I'll show
your
you
proposals.
that I have partners from Sweden and all that. Please tell the minister that they should favor Paul Adumochiri for this contract. Will you do that?
You see, your partnership with Swedish doesn't intimidate me.
I know.
You should prove that you're competent to do the job.
Well, but if I have partners who can do it.
What I would do is introducing you to the minister, but not push or force the minister to give you the contract.
No, but that's all I need. Don't push. Just tell the minister. Just say that the minister will please have a look at. That's all I need.
Yeah, just look at that. Is
that corruption?
No, that is not corruption.
Really? But
no.
I'm taking my advantage of knowing you and coming to you as president.
If you do anything wrong, contrary to whatever your proposal is, you go to jail.
You tell the Attorney General to work on me.
Yeah.
So if I come to you in that place, I say, oh, but Kennedy,
I'm afraid you go to jail.
Really?
Yes.
So no favor for anyone?
Don't vote for me. You go to jail.
No favor for anyone?
No favor. I will jail you.
You can't do president like that in Africa.
Why not? Let me give you an example. You see, you sit here as a black man with
a
nice...
Is it Donald Trump's problem? Every day he was sacking somebody.
Hold on. This morning, Tennessee.
In America?
Right, in America. 3 fire officers were fired just for late response. Late.
Oh, I see.
3. They've been fired.
Yes.
What has a fire officer got to do with a murder by police officers?
But it's a late arrival.
Precisely. That is how the system...
That's discipline.
Discipline. That's how systems work. Ghanaians, that is why I'm saying that change needs us. Change needs us. Because everything happening in this country clearly indicates that we are indisciplined. These same Ghanaians, when they travel abroad and working, and the systems are working, they follow the systems. These same workers sometimes become the best workers.
So it's for you, the political leader, to change the system.
Yes, of course.
It's not the people, it's the system.
It's the system.
Led by the leader.
Yes.
Okay. So you are promising us that you're going to show us that this is the system you are bringing, everybody must fall in line.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
And it has been experimented elsewhere. Like example that I'm giving you, that 3 fire officers who were late were just fired.
Okay, let me take the text message. When I come back, viewers, so that you don't go away, we're asking about religion and the contest. Is religion important in the contest? The survey I showed you, delegates had been asked about religion. I'll ask him also gossip questions. Did he tell President Akufo-Addo that he wants to run, and what did President Akufo-Addo say? Who will be his running mate if he wins? Is he happy to be running mate to somebody else if he doesn't win? All of these coming up. Let's take the text messages now. Mikael, and we are now on social media only. Thanks for keeping with us.
On endorsement of gay rights. Will his government grant their rights legally? Now, Victor Usu from Kumasi says, good evening, Kennedy, Ohene, Agyapong. If you get the nod, please, are you going to work with the same NPP ministers and members who have been tagged as corrupt? Now, this is from Sly. He says, kindly ask Honorable Ken what he will do about the rent issues in this country should he become president, because you will see house owners charging 2 years advance, which is very, very bad. Moving on.
So these are the wise words from Honorable Ken. Every hope needs action, change needs art, as ideas need spark. Kennedy, Agyapong 2023, and this is coming from Philip Darko. Also, people have put out the content for our TikTok videos. They said, yes, PK, Chocolate, Tatra, Naziet, yes, Rob. Coming from John Gary, he says, per my observation, Honorable Kennedy is quite better than all the leaders in Ghana. He has employed over 7,700 Ghanaian youth in his company. How many leaders in Ghana here are able to employ 5,000 youth into their companies? Please, I advise we should all pray for this man. Rafiat Hussein Gunu says, Ken's analysis on the economy is interesting. He has put out a strong defense of his government's project. That is remarkable. He didn't run down his own government as MP and not as a minister. Mustafa Ibrahim says, this is practical knowledge. Honorable, you are a good leader and you deserve to lead the country. You are making a lot of sense and people don't know how to manage businesses. Bretunu Agyapong Butcher says, from Asen Praso to Asen Yankomase and all Asen towns on Branch Road, this is our own, so let us all rally behind him, Asen to the world. And lastly, from Kwesi Entribosiako Paul, now we have a business-minded person who is ready to handle the affairs of this country as he runs his personal businesses. No wastages at all. Ken, Ghana is ready for you, and I will urge all the delegates to vote for PhD 2024. Over to you, Karen.
Okay, thank you. This is from Joyce. He says, I agree with you, Mr. Agyapong. Ghana is even importing onions from Burkina Faso. Raphael says, please ask him of his view and how he's going to change or handle galamsey. Ken, analysis on the economy is interesting. He has put out a strong defense on his government project. That's a remarkable. He didn't run his own government as MP and not as minister. This is from Riyad Hussein. This is deep. Hope needs action. This is from Kwame Nipa Murray. Noble King says, hope needs action. The situation we are in, we don't need change. Change needs us. Hon Ken, good job. Over to you.
Thank you, Karen. This is from Akwesi Sapon. Let's just vote for this man. Amposa Kwame Gideon says, I said to myself, I will never vote again I will never vote again, but for a businessman like Ken, I will vote again because Ghana can work again. Please, kindly ask the most honest man in this politics, Honorable Kennedy Akompreku, whom I see him as the second coming of the late President, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings. His takes about President Akufo-Addo's leadership style of not doing reshuffling on his ministers and CEOs for almost 7 years. And if he is the president of this administration, would he have to reshuffle? This is from Aponsa Kwaku. And from Ebenezer Fosu, he says, he's just an honest man. Kwejo Samuel says, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is incomparable. Ken all the way, no challenger.
Okay, we don't have much time. Let me take that question on reshuffle. It's very important. Reshuffle. If you were president, will you be reshuffling frequently, periodically, or?
You see, reshuffle serves as a deterrent to lazy ministers. Okay? So sometimes, if the people don't do, your ministers are not working, okay, or they are not up to tax, why not? You have to relieve him of his position.
But if they are up to tax?
Yeah, you keep them.
So if they are up to tax, we can find ourselves in a situation where you will keep your ministers for 6 years?
You know, 6 years is too long. What I'll do is, if you are competent and you've changed a ministry, I will move you to another ministry to make a change or difference over there.
I see. That will be the way.
Yeah.
Looking at what is happening, can you look at the cabinet and say, is there a minister who is doing well that has caught your eye?
I have a couple of ministers that are doing well.
Yes, tell us some of them.
They are doing well.
Tell us some of them.
Attorney General is one.
Godfrey Dame?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an Adisco connection, by the way. Is it Adisco?
Napo is
Napo of Energy?
Yeah, is also one.
They're impressing you?
Yeah, you know.
Are you looking at them for running mate?
No. But I don't have any intention of taking anybody now until I get the nod.
So you're not thinking of anybody?
Not yet.
If you win, must the person be from the north?
I don't know yet.
Could you have a running mate from the south tickets?
It can be possible.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. All right, now let's come to the gossip questions. Have you told President Akufo-Addo you're running for president?
Is it part of the...
It is part. It is part. It's the gossip part. We always do the gossip part. Have you told him?
We've met.
The question is not answered. Have you told him?
Yes.
Was he happy that you're running?
Oh, initially, but he's okay with it now.
Is he supporting you?
I don't know.
Have you asked for his support?
Not yet. I want them to be neutral.
Did you tell the chief of staff that you're running? Honorable Fremont Parry?
No.
But she has heard?
Yeah.
Has she asked you?
Not yet.
You won't go and tell her?
I don't know yet.
Have you told the chief at Tassim Fosu that you're running?
Not yet.
When will you tell them?
You know, I'm a grassroots man. So I want to deal with the grassroots first. And their response, when I know I'm a formidable candidate, then the first person I'll go to him is President Kufuor. Second, I'll go to Tumfuo. Third, I'll go to Central Regional House of Chiefs and inform them of my intention. What I'm doing
When will you do all that? Right now, what are you doing?
Right now, what I'm doing is I've introduced myself to the region and the constituencies. Now I'm going to the grassroots. I'll go there personally to speak to them, show them my contribution to the party and my achievements in this country, why although MPP is becoming unpopular, but still there's one candidate that Ghanaians are willing to give him a chance.
I see.
Yes.
So that's a plan. That's a plan for the campaign.
Right.
So people who say that you are into this just so that you step down, should they be looking somewhere else?
They are dreamers.
You are in for the long haul.
Oh yes, I'm going to the end.
All the way to Congress Day.
And I will leave no stone unturned.
When is the voting going to occur?
I don't know yet. Maybe Thursday they will come up with a decision.
Oh, they're having their meeting on Thursday.
Right. So I'm contesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If you don't win, you come second, and Dr. Bawumia wins, will you agree to be his running mate?
I will support him as a MPP member. I'll support him to campaign.
If he asks you to be his running
But
mate,
I don't want to be his running mate.
what do you want to be if you don't win?
If I don't win, I'm a party member. I'll help.
You will lead the campaign or you just help?
I'll help. I'll go. How am I going to lead a campaign? Every candidate has his own team that is but I'll go around and campaign.
Yeah, but if the party thinks because you came second, you should be running mate. Bush and Reagan did that and they won 3 terms.
But these same people that are saying this, now, I'm sorry, you push me to the wall. Some people always say that, Agyapong doesn't know when to talk and when to stop.
But if you want to say something that you shouldn't say, then don't say it.
Yeah, because I don't want to say anything.
No, don't say it, please. If it's something you shouldn't say, don't say it. When we close, then you tell me.
You know where your support is. So you just pushing me. I refuse to answer.
That's very interesting. Who is your favorite lady, either among MPP ministers or Council of State or older women in Ghana? Who's your favorite lady? I'm looking for a gender ticket for you.
I've not taken a look at that, honestly. You see, now
but you talk about Aslausu in a way that I know you people have a good rapport.
My focus now is to emerge as a flag bearer before I think of whoever.
Will religion be important in the decision of Ghanaians, the 2024 December decision? Will religion be important?
Well, I think so.
But we have never in the Fourth Republic had any election where religion was important. In 2008, for instance, John Mahama and Professor Mills gained more Muslim votes than Dr. Bawumia and Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
So religion has never really been, in any of the elections we've run, very important. Why would it be important in this one?
I don't know. But when you listen to people, the way they argue and everything, I'm not for that. So I'm not happy that I'm this, I'm that. I believe in competence. And I know for sure that the state of the economy, the state of the world economy, we need pragmatic leaders now. And I stand tall. And that is what I'm focusing on.
Outside Ghana, who is your most favorite African president?
Rwanda.
Oh, Kagame.
Yes.
Oh, that's the kind of leadership we should expect.
Yes.
The Kagame leadership.
Yeah, discipline.
Sometimes it's brutal.
Well, too bad if that's what will change Ghanaians.
Sometimes he abuses human rights.
Well, you see, the same person saying that he abuses human rights, immediately he leaves the scene, then he's proud to say that he's from Rwanda.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
When Rwandese travel, they're happy to say they're from Rwanda.
Yeah.
Because you get respect.
Right.
Arsenal Football Club have on their jersey, visit Rwanda.
See, why didn't they say Ghana?
We haven't asked them to say.
And we don't have the money.
As we are ending, let's go to entertainment and sports. What were you doing at Afrochella? You're a 60-something-year-old man. You had Afrochella and Shatawale of all people was introducing you, to come and sing.
Afrochella was organized by my son, my nephew, and their partners.
Okay.
And ever since they did that, I've never attended.
Okay.
Although financially, when they need help, they come to me. They always come last minute. When they get disappointed, they come, I loan them. But they've been good to pay. They pay back.
Okay.
So this time, they said I should come. But when I went there, these young men and women smoking, drinking, and I was not comfortable. I really wanted to leave. But Shatawale said, I'm his godfather. He wanted to introduce me. I said, for what? I said, okay, let me wait. So as soon as he did that, I left. But it was a nice scene. What I saw there encourages me to believe in tourism. The tourism, when we talk, I thought we were going to ask about developmental policies.
Yeah.
And I believe in tourism. Tourism, these young men rented almost all the hotels in Accra.
Oh yes, Afrochella was massive.
Right. What does that tell you?
They sold tables for $8,000 in Ghana. And it was oversold.
Right. When President Akufo-Addo in 2019 introduced the year of return, from October to January 2020, Ghana made about $2 billion.
From tourism?
Yeah, from tourism. That is October, November, December, January.
4 months.
Meanwhile, Ghana cocoa, this last year, we were going for a syndicated loan of 1,130 million for a whole year. But tourism, these young men, what they did, including Afro Nation.
Yes.
And Ghana is on the map.
Big time.
Right. That is the encouragement I got from the scene. When I got there, I said, wow, we need to encourage them to do this more. 6 March, any occasion, Independence Day, whatever, we organize something. And now they're getting contracts from South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and the rest to replicate it.
Wow.
Why can't we?
So tourism is one of your big
Number one.
agenda. Okay.
The biggest ministry will be tourism.
And trade. But mainly tourism.
Yeah, tourism,
and agriculture.
Yes.
Tourism, agric.
And
defense and interior?
No. Defense and interior, no. Education.
Education, yeah.
Yeah.
Very important.
Education. President Akufo-Addo has done well with the free SHS. But educational system here, we are tourists.
Still, yes, largely.
Right.
Curriculum must change.
Right. So now we're going by what the Minister of Education is doing now, STEM. We need to promote engineering and technology. What I want to do for Ghana is, when you go to California, Silicon Valley, the moment you mention Silicon Valley, it's technology city.
It's computer programming.
When you go to Bangalore in India, you go to India and you mention Bangalore, technology city. When you go to China and you mention Shenzhen, technology city. What city in Ghana here that you mention and they will attach or ascribe it to technology?
We can find one.
So that is what I want to do.
How many ministers would
Vice President has done well with digitization.
Yes, yes.
We're going to move it a step further, where we promote the youth to build softwares and also sell to the rest of the world.
How many ministers would you work with?
I will not go more than 80.
More than 80?
I won't go more than 80.
Oh, you're being very honest. You're campaigning for elections and you say you're going to have 80 ministers. That's very honest. Usually we don't hear that. We hear 60, 40, 60, 40.
No, I won't go.
And then they come and they're gone to 90.
I won't go more than 80.
So
those who
ministers
say,
and deputies.
Those who say 60 end up 88. Okay? So I know what I'm going to do. There will be no 2 deputy ministers anywhere, no matter the size of the ministry.
Even finance?
No. Finance, you have 1 minister of state, 1 deputy. Not 1 minister of state, 2 deputies.
Okay.
It won't work.
Agric, which is your primary?
Is one deputy. Everywhere, one deputy.
How will you appoint your DCEs, or do you want them to be
DC
elected?
by merit.
How will you find the merit? You are sitting in Accra, Jubilee House. You don't know all of them.
You see,
search parties are bringing you names.
I'm an experienced man. Search parties, they will bring the name. But I will engage every man that wants to be DC or MC.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. So
all of them?
Yeah. My
100 and
let me tell you a secret. In 2021, when we won the election for the second term, there were gentlemen and ladies who came to me to go and plead with President Akufo-Addo to make them MCs and DCs. But during my cross-examination, okay, I asked, why do you want to be DC? And one said, excuse me, if I'm DC, I'll be able to help the party people, I'll do this. I said, please, where are you going to get the money to help party people? Because the common fund, about 2 terms or 3 terms, you will not get any.
It's in arrears.
Yeah, you will not get any funding. So how are you going to help party people? I want you to tell me that I'm going to create businesses in the constituency, but not to rely on common fund to develop the place. So about 3 of them, I turned them down. I said, you have no vision for your constituency, and therefore I can't help you. As simple as that.
Somebody says I should tell you that the city in Ghana for technology is called Kasoa, and he adds a bit of laughter. Robert Coleman from Zoom Lion says that Kennedy is improving sports infrastructure in Ghana by building more Astro steps. He says that I salute Kennedy Agyapong, say hi to him. He is a good leader for Ghana. Mikhail, get some messages ready now, and let's be wrapping it up over here. The last question I'll be asking Kennedy Agyapong is about the Black Stars. Okay, Mikhail, what do you have?
So this message says, good evening, Uncle Paul. You have interviewed Alan and Honorable Ken. When are you bringing my father to the studio, DMB? This is from Ishmael. Now, Emmanuel from Bechile, I believe that is, he says, Paul, please ask Honorable Ken what plans he has for the Volta region. Now, Papa Ahensa from Sekondi says, please, I want to ask Honorable, what makes him stand tall amongst the other aspirants? And would he contest his seat as MP again if he's not successful? Now, Idisa says, this is Ghana's Kagame who turns things around. He's the Donald Trump to turn an alien economy with transfer of business experience into governance. Honorable Ken is the Lee Kuan Yew that would make sure that only the best would deserve to occupy responsible positions. Yes, Honorable Ken has demonstrated that he would not yield to favoritism by allowing the police to deal with his son, only the corrupt Shiva when his candidature is mentioned. Now, Akolo Gu Simon says, I watched a video in which the president of, is it Malawi, strongly rebuking and dismissing cabinet ministers and heads of government agencies on national television following corruption revelations. And I said to myself, it's only Kennedy Agyapong who can do this in recent Ghana. The others behave too indebted to their appointees. And lastly, Joseph Kunamwa says, the Donald Trump of Ghanaian politics. We'll say it as it is. No room for hypocrisy. But Honorable Ken will not endorse that insurrection of Capitol Hill style in Ghana and will concede if he loses an election, unlike Trump.
Okay, so coming from Ni Oko Ochuena, this man is a good presidential product, but will the MPP give him the chance? Yes, I decided not to vote this time around, but if it is Kennedy Agyapong, then I would vote. And lastly, from Odate Boyas, I think that if Honorable Ken wins the MPP nomination, he should pick Honorable Henry Kote as his running mate. And if Vice President Bawumia wins, then he should pick Honorable Kennedy as his running mate. My opinion, though. Over to you, Karen.
So this is from Victor Tay. He says, considering the current state of Ghana, Ken is the only person trusted to wipe up the country back into shape. Paul, in fact, Ken is fantastic, and I pray and believe his people will vote for him. Ishaq Jiga. Kojo Mata says, the only presidential candidate who has made impact directly in the lives of Ghanaians in his private life. Ken shall be Ghana's president. Over to you, Naima.
Thank you, Karen. This is from Daniel Ayim. Ghanaians in the USA are seriously waiting for Ken to be president before some of them will return home. Ken for president for sure. Watching you live from Virginia, USA. The number speaks volumes. I stand with Ken any day. This from Forget Them. Ken attended at Disalel College, for your information. And lastly, from Dauda Adams, live here in Saudi. Ken, I want to be part of your campaign team. This is from Johnny Serena Kabiba. Thank you.
Okay, so we have to come to the last concluding parts of the questions. We have a Black Stars question and a few other things to go. Too many things have been said today. Thank you very much for this interview. Honorable Ken Agyapong. It's now 8 minutes at the top of the hour at midnight, and our social media numbers are cracking up. And thank you very much, all of those watching on social media. Those who like the worship, we'll do the last one before we go. We'll do the so that we'll do that one. Black Stars are paid a lot of money. If you were president, will you pay them thousands of dollars to play for Ghana?
Yeah.
You will pay them the money?
Yeah, I don't have a problem, yes.
Why?
You see, we have to encourage these stars to come home and play for us because, one, let me give you one example. Those in the foreign teams, they make so much money. Okay? Some of them get about $40,000 a week. Mm-hmm. He comes here, and the whole time that he's going to play for Ghana, they give him 40,000. And Ghana, we are complaining. If this guy hurts himself and cannot play again, he loses $40,000 a week. So I don't mind paying 40,000 to them, or whatever money they deserve. It will motivate them to come home and serve their country. So I don't have a problem. Then you talk of the locals.
Yeah.
If a foreign player makes so much and a local player is very good and also playing for Ghana, he has to earn the same thing. So I don't have a problem. Ghanaians, we should stop complaining that, especially with the cathedral. Let me branch off a bit.
I like your word. You think we should build cathedral?
Yes.
But your answer is yes?
Yeah. But we should know how complex that cathedral is. Because I say yes because of tourism. And I give you examples. You should always travel, and when you travel, go to other places and see the tourist sites they have. Most Europeans are making money out of Catholic churches. When you go to Spain, that most beautiful one that I have visited is Spain, Barcelona. It's called Sagrada Familia.
It's a cathedral?
Yes, built by Gaudi. You need to see it. You need to see that cathedral. If you can Google for them to show.
Say that again. Then they'll Google.
Sagrada Familia.
Sagrada Familia. Please get it very quickly and put it on.
Sagrada Familia.
Yes, they've heard you. They'll do it.
From Intercontinental, my hotel to Sagrada Familia, I paid 12 euros and back 12 euros, which is 24. Taxi drivers made 24 euros for me going to watch or take a look at Sagrada Familia. I bought a lot of things from there, postcards, artifacts, and all. Now, when you are going to Sagrada Familia, it's in levels. Okay? And they have a money bank there that you clock in. If you are going to the first 2-3 floors, 17 euros, the next floors, then the prices increase.
So it's a money maker?
Yeah, they make money. When you go to France, Strasbourg, the only business there is the European Parliament. Then the mistress of Napoleon, where those days Napoleon had a mistress, and a very beautiful garden that has become a tourist attraction center. Then you have another cathedral, and you need to see the money they make. They make more money than ECOWAS, European Parliament.
I see.
Yes. When you go to Hamburg, this same Catholic church, Hamburg is not too big, but they have a tower that you pay 15 euros and go up there. And you can see every part of Hamburg. Okay? When you go to Cologne, you need to see.
In Germany, yeah.
When you go to Rome and Milan, all these cities
so
are
your support for the cathedral is not religious or spiritual.
No, economic.
It's economic and tourism. And for that reason, we should get it.
Right.
But will it be the cathedral we are trying to build? Is it competitive to the ones that you are mentioning?
That is what I'm saying. That it depends on how sophisticated our cathedral is. Then it can attract
all those tourists.
Yeah, to come here.
I think they are building it as a tourist attraction because it has many things. It has restaurants, it has halls, different halls, it has all kinds of things. And they say the presidential inauguration will be carried out there.
If they do that, if it's carried out there, government has to pay money.
Yeah, to rent it. For the purpose
government
of the
has to pay
presidential
money.
Inauguration.
It shouldn't be presidential inauguration and it's free. That you are not making money. I'm thinking of money for the country.
Somebody's asking me as we're wrapping up, says, when you're a president, what car would you like to use?
I'll use my own car.
Which is what?
I have Mercedes.
Why don't you want to use the president's car? I don't know why the president is asking. I think you said something in another platform.
I said I'll buy my own cars.
I see.
And I will not use more than 5 cars. Security, details and everything.
Oh, your convoy will not be more than 5?
No.
But you don't decide that. You can say that here, but the security will decide that.
I will decide that. I will tell the
president
security.
doesn't decide for the security.
I will tell the security. Why not?
They will tell you it doesn't work. They will explain to you why you need 20.
No. Why? I'm in government. I know.
When Barack Obama became president, he wanted to keep
be following you with their cars.
That you can cut out. That you can cut out.
But
only the president's own is still more than 5.
I will tell him 5. That's what I want.
8.
No, 8 Land Cruisers is too much.
Barack Obama.
You see them peeping through the window. Yanka. Or by the, those things. I want to be a modest president, although I'm capable of doing a lot of things lavishly, but that is not what Ghanaians need. See, I am coming here to sacrifice for the nation. And I use Matthew 20.
Will you do 1 term or 2 terms?
Matthew 20:26. Let me quote this and I'll answer you. Matthew 20:26 says that anybody who wants to be a leader must first be a servant of the people.
Yes, correct.
And I want to serve Ghana.
Yeah.
I don't want to lord myself over Ghanaians. I'm going to be the servant that they know.
How many terms would you do?
You see, I will answer you by giving you this analogy. There's difference between a leader and a politician. A leader is the one who thinks of development of his country and take bold decisions irrespective of the repercussion. A politician is the one who is elected into power and thinks of the next election and therefore is not able to take bold decisions. I will take bold decisions. If it's 1 term, so be it. But the decision I'll take within the term, Ghanaians themselves will call me to contest again. But I don't want to put it at the back of my mind that I'm going to go 2 terms and therefore I'm not going to be disciplined. I will instill discipline in this country.
Even if it will cost you the next election?
Yes, I will instill discipline. And that is the only way we can move this country. When it comes to spending, it's discipline. When it comes to behavior, it's discipline. When it comes to attitude, it's discipline. Everything is discipline, discipline, discipline. And Ghanaians, change needs us.
I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. We can go on. It's midnight. We can go on and on and on. And that's why, viewers, I told you, I don't know how long this is going to last, but by the grace of God, it's come to an end. What an explosion. What a good interview he's given us. Ken Agyapong always gives us such a fantastic interview. And I have to commend his team. Your team is very good, I have to say. Because the pressure they've given me today. Let's go.
I want to tell the team that they should not be afraid. They are always scared when I'm going to speak.
They were.
A 62-year-old man, you think I don't know what is good for me?
Oh, you look younger than 62.
I'm 62.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, nyame tumfo. Oh, we are ending with that one.
No, me person walk out.
There you know.
Nyame asembeye ho. Nyame asembeye ho. Nyame asembeye ho.
Say you can do that. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, nyame asembeye ho. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, oh, nyamia sembeya ho, oh, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, oh, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya ho. Nyamia sembeya ho, nyamia sembeya, oh, nyamia sembeya ho.
Sorry, there's a last one that Honorable wants to talk about.
I'm just appealing to my grassroots supporters. Say they should have confidence in me, and I'm going to make sure, even if age is not on their side, there is hope for their children. Therefore, they should vote for one of their kind, a man who understands them, a man who understands their language, a man who understands their problem, a man who will solve their problems for them. Thank all of you. And I thank Metro TV and your wonderful crew for giving me opportunity.
The young people, they did all the research.
Yeah. And they did well.
Oh, nyamia sembeya ho. So we are wrapping up. Thank you, viewers. Salute.